Hello. Oh, no.
Redo that.
Nothing happened.
Get out the face! Get out the face! Hans, get off the face!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just start over, No, I got to make sure. I don't know the rules on, because I know on Twitch, first of all, I guess I should go. I'm the Clown Prince Podcast Trust now. I'm joined by...
The Binge style, Kirkland Patzer.
Yeah. I don't know obviously it's a lot different because, we live in a sexist economy and situation and whatnot. But I know on Twitch, even male nipples, you're not allowed to be shown. And you can't see, but
What?
look at that.
On Twitch? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, you can get banned because it's equality because women can't, so men can. First of all, peck pop right there, pretty good. Look at that.
You're
bounce up
jiggling
there.
it. I can't see your hands right now. You're probably just pushing the boob up. The man boob. Oh, look at that.
No, I've always had great
Terry
pecs and
Crews
shoulders.
over here.
Yeah, the problem is the rest of it goes to the gut. But anyway, so that one that I was popping right there. Luckily, there's the word, like the words are covering it, but the nip's popping on every once in a while.
But we're not on Twitch, so what's the issue? You can show the nip.
That's gonna be my rule. Can you show the nip on YouTube live streaming?
We'll find out if you reveal it, and we'll see if we get demonetized.
Oh, I blocked it.
It was like an
That was
Austin Powers
perfect.
thing where your mic
was.
actually covered the nipple.
Yeah. But no, it's just me and Kirkland because we're not at 50 patrons yet, so we had to make some budget cuts.
We had to let a couple guys go.
We'd let the staff go.
Cut the fat, as they would say.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a 2-for-1er, and Dylan and Taylor are now gone, so that's a real shame. That's why you gotta, if you want them back, you gotta get us to 50 patrons by July. The future of this small business depends on that. July 1st, 50 patrons at any tier. It could be all. We listen, and I'm not trying to be braggadocious here. Okay, we are literally listening to thousands of people. Not every episode, but thousands of people. We get lots of plays, stuff like that. $1. You can get them back. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say why they're gone, just because they're gone. So $1, any tier, you can jump on there. We're halfway there, so it'd be great. There's over 2 months left, and you get to unlock a bunch of stuff. I keep doing this. God, the Rise of Skywalker commentary track. We never completed that one, so we want to do that. The MC reboot. What would happen after Secret Wars if they rebooted? Top 15 video games, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, and our mystery box and GV Bingo. Lots of fun stuff. Plus, Dylan and Taylor come back. If not, then it's just us, and you don't want that because you already got Travis Told You. So then that's just too much of me. And then to cover, there's gonna be no side quests. We're just gonna do Kirkland Told You.
I need them back, people, please.
Yeah,
I can't. My schedule doesn't allow me to be on all these shows without them.
Yeah, Kirkland's just gonna be talking about anime and what's that film you drafted? Suzuma.
I still haven't seen it, actually. Shane and I were talking about it. Fortunately, we've had a couple weekends off together where, her schedule doesn't always line up with mine. But this coming up weekend is one of those weekends. So we got a couple things to catch up on. We're finishing Ted Lasso right now. It's really sad that there's only 2 episodes left in the show. That was revealed to me on the After 9 by Carl. We love you, Carl. But, man, I'm getting, sad that the show is ending because it's just such a fun, nice, wholesome watch along, and knowing that it's just going to be over is a little bit sad. But you'll be able to finally catch up one day, Travis, knowing that it's only 3 seasons. It's a pretty light watch too. It's not like it's heavy. I mean, some of the episodes might get a little bit heavy, but they're like an hour long or whatnot.
I probably will because an hour. I thought they were shorter than that. I thought they were like half an hour, 40 minutes.
Well, yeah, I get I think this last one was 55 minutes or something, so it's the third last episode, and I can't remember if the other seasons
But you're
were
talking
like
about
that.
the end game now, So
Yeah, true. That's what I mean. I can't remember if it's just season 3 that's been more of the hour long. I could always do a quick little peruse.
No, that's okay. I'll wait till I see it, and then if it's not there, I'll message Apple and say I was told this was an hour plus show. What's going on? No, I probably will. Yeah, you got nothing else on here. No, I probably will because I think I got like a free month or two of Apple Plus or something like that. I guess there.
That's
no,
usually the
I
thing.
think
Every once in a while, like I'll get a new phone and then I get Apple TV for a year, or Shay will get a new phone and then we get Apple TV for a year.
it's funny you should talk about that. I'm probably gonna grab my new phone. Everyone knows what they look like, but let me check. Hang on, I gotta grab my phone. Kill time.
I'll kill time here. So as I was saying, Shay and I are excited to watch Suzumi, which is the second movie, I think, from the studio that did Your Name. Phenomenal anime movie. If you're at all interested in that, even if you're not an anime fan, I highly recommend that movie. You don't have to get into a crazy long series or anything like that. It's very nice, wholesome, heartwarming, just like Cha Cha Real Smooth. Actually, Shane, I just watched that last weekend.
And you trying to win S-Bub's heart over
there? Really enjoyed that movie. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised too because I heard you guys kind of talking about it. I heard S-Bubs highly praising it, and then I went on Letterboxd and Patreon Clay. My gosh, he hated that movie. I think
Oh,
he
did he?
like
I never
a
saw
1.5
review.
star. I think his review was pretty heavy, and then yours was like a 3, which was lower than what I was expecting you to have, but it was respectable, I guess. I read through your review there, but yeah, Shay and I both absolutely loved it. 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, people don't know it if you didn't tune in to Trash told you in the year. Yeah, no, I liked it. It was just that lead. I couldn't connect. But it's funny that it's like a controversial movie with the GVD, like a polarizing movie. It's not one we all agree on. Like I wouldn't go as far as Clay to put a 1. Like that's a savage number. That's
savage sometimes though. I've gone through, seen some of his other Letterboxd reviews.
And did I give it a 3 or a 3.5? Because there's a big
I can't
difference
remember.
between.
I think it was I think it was just a flat 3. If I
of course, like on Letterboxd, error loading list. Fuck off, everything right now. But literally,
we know you're live. We're butchering your show.
Yeah, but no,
I got the same thing actually. Look at that.
Yeah, come on, there. Oh, here we go. So, where was it? So I watched how many films last year? I watched 127 films last year, and that rank. But the problem is, again, last year there was just so much good quality too. Let's see, because it has it. Okay, so it ranked 73. So yeah, I didn't. I did do just a 3. Yeah, I guess just I will blame S-Bubs a little. I respect his movie opinions. He has some bad things. I can't remember, who knows, but there's some things I look at like what's going on here. But no, he had built it up quite a bit for me. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Maybe I'll watch it one day. I saw it's on Apple Plus TV, but yeah, I still liked it. But yeah, everyone check that out. It's a nice little indie flick there. I just didn't like the lead, and I just had problems with the lead of the age. I feel like they having their cake and eat it too. Sometimes he was old enough for the story, and then sometimes they like younged him up and back and forth and stuff like that. But like as Bub said, he said it's something that he felt like he personally connect to. I can see that because I feel like there's tons of movies that I personally connect to that people go, oh, why you love it so much? Like, have you heard anyone else in the last 5 years bring up the movie Shame by Michael Fassbender? No, but I do.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone ever bring up that movie other than you. So yeah.
Funny enough, whatever, read into what you will about this, but the movie's about sex addiction. And so it was early on in me and Emily's relationship. It had come out, I think it's like 2012, 13. I watched it, and I made her watch it. She liked it, which is funny enough. But
watch it.
Well, no,
You're
but like it's one of those
this movie Jeffrey Dahmer style.
yeah. No, but it's like one of those, like, okay, like you should see this movie and stuff. And then one time we went out for dinner and we came back, and it was her roommate who likes me now, but I think her family and her friends were all kind of like, they're all fine for her like fucking me being 4 years younger, but then once like a relationship, like, oh, wait a second.
What are you doing, Emily?
Yeah, exactly.
It's time to grow up.
I think she talked about this maybe on the Go Check Out the Better Halves episode with all our other significant others, but she was originally the night that things kicked off was going to try and friend zone me and stuff like that. I got my way, but like, so that's where it was. But anyway, so we went out for dinner, came back. And then on TV, there is just a hardcore sex scene with Michael Fassbender and these two girls. And it's like someone's watching your sex tape, because you just open the door, I'm like, oh my God. Because these are two people I would have never recommended this movie to. Like this very indie, hardcore, sex-driven, very like dramatic, sad movie about sex addiction, Michael Fassbender. I'm like, oh no, they're at the threesome scene. I'm just like, oh, see you guys watching Shame. And they're like, Yeah, we're watching Shane. Like they must have just saw the Blu-ray on the mantle, like, let's watch this, and because I like film, they knew that at least, like, like he's good taste, and then that probably scared them off even more because it gets kind of, so it was one of these like, and I didn't even tell him to watch. It's just like, no, not you two, especially her boyfriend. It's like he's very much like I feel like a very GA lighthearted guy. So like if he's gonna watch like 3 to 4 new movies a year, Shane by Michael Fassbender is not it, But yeah, that was it. Anyways,
I feel like it really would have alarmed them if you reacted differently. If you just like went up, they'd be like, "Oh, what'd you think of this? Yeah, this is my favorite part."
You guys like to party?
Just start playing, like dim the lights or something. Just get some mood going.
Let's see. Apple Plus. See, these are the new services. So I got the iPhone. We're gonna get to news already. Don't worry. That's what we do at the beginning. I got the iPhone Pro Max.
Ooh, look at that thing.
14.
So the big one. It's the
big
boy,
one.
Right?
Yeah. So look at that. And this
Shay's
this was the big one of like the 12 or something like that. Now, yeah, I like the big one. What do you got there?
This is
a big one, right?
I think the 12. No, this is the little one.
Oh,
Mouse
yeah,
for scale.
It's massive.
Mouse for scale there.
Yeah.
Holy, that
Well,
autofocus. This is gonna be you for the rest of the. That was actually like what you were saying off cast. That's like the unsolved mystery one where it's just completely blurred.
We should do an episode like that. We're all completely blurred, and then we'll get some negative comment. These fucking guys don't even know how to focus their cameras. But no, so Emily got that for some sort of other deal, like something separate. But now the deal's when I got this, because usually, did you get it in the settings or like a piece of paper? Was it in the settings?
For what are you talking about?
Apple Plus,
Apple
like the free subscription. Yeah.
I'm trying to. I think I got like an email or something like through. Like I don't think I had a physical paper for it, but then again, maybe it came in like the box for the phone. I don't.
So mine didn't have any of that. And then this is the 3 things it comes with. Apple Arcade, I have no interest in that. Apple News, I have no interest in that. Apple Fitness, sure, I try it, but that's it in my services that come with the phone. It's just those 3. So I feel like they're not giving Apple Plus
you know what?
anymore.
It actually, you're right. It was in the settings. I remember now because then I set it up through like my phone app and then went through the TV route. So yeah, they've just discontinued that. That's sad.
Yeah, watching Shame on TV like Patrick Bateman sometimes. Have you ever seen American Psycho?
Oh yeah, I rewatched it tail end of last year. Actually, I was hanging out with a buddy that said that he had just watched it, and then I'm like, I had only seen that movie once before, and it was like one of the first things I ever watched on Netflix. Actually, like ever, like it was crazy. Way back in the day, just thinking of the early days of Netflix. I'd borrowed a friend's login, and then it was on there, and I don't think I had really, or maybe I thought it was just Psycho, that movie. Like I thought it was a different movie than what it was, but yeah,
classic
that was
mix-up.
That
Psycho,
was a trip.
American Psycho.
Yeah, you can understand the confusion.
Yeah, I know the confusion. Yeah, that's one I'm excited. I don't know whenever we'll do it. I've thought about a concept of. I don't know if it'll be this year, but sometime I want to make it that we have like I feel like we're all like we do the retros for the content and we let the patrons pick it, which is great, but I feel like we should start doing some personal ones,
I was thinking that actually just the other day,
yeah, I feel like even if we did like whether it's for our anniversary or something like that, like like Kirkland puts up 4 for the patrons, like 4 that he'd want to do, but they pick which one, but there are personal choices, so maybe we'll do that. But because I feel like American Psycho we have to one day, and I feel like you guys shouldn't watch Shame until we do a retro, because it's just like
I want to talk about it with people.
Yeah, we're gonna do, that'll be a movie night. Just do Shame with the patrons. Just watch this sex addict movie.
It's like when I had friends over to watch Eyes Wide Shut. Not the best movie to pick for that evening, but yeah.
None of the girls are gonna join. April Hansen, they're like, no, we're not watching this fucking. Let us know, everybody. But no, we're not watching that. Yeah, American Psycho 2. I would love to do that. To be honest, I've never seen it. Okay, I think I've never seen it all the way through once. I think I've always seen it in
that's
bits
a movie?
and pieces. So minor spoilers. Skip 5 minutes for American Psycho if you've never seen it, because you should watch that movie. Skip
fresh,
to when you get to the news.
Yeah.
You should watch it fresh.
Like Fight Club. You got to watch that movie.
Very much like Fight Club, right? So in the spoilers, where obviously lots of that movie, there's like a mix of you don't know what's real and what's not real, right? Mm-hmm. Well, American Psycho 2 opens up, answers all those questions. It just says Patrick Bateman's a fucking killer. So that's like, okay, that takes the fun of that. It's not canon anything, so it's just like I take it as whatever. It's starring Mila Kunis. before she's like caught shit Mila Kunis. It's like somewhere in the 70s show era, like that Mila Kunis. And the story is, so she's a babysitter. This nice gentleman comes over who happens to be Patrick Bateman. Her and the babysitter and Patrick Bateman getting on. Of course, Patrick Bateman starts to kill her. She kills Patrick Bateman, and then she becomes a killer because she got like the thirst of it.
I hate that. I hate that so much. That sounds so bad.
It's like you look at American Psycho, which is this very like character-driven like deconstruction of wealth and greed in the 80s, and now it's just like, oh, she killed him and got the killer powers. You know, like it's such like it just But yeah, so that's what it is, and I feel like I you know what, I suppose I might have to try to find that, watch it, but it's awful. It went straight to DVD. It's not good stuff. Yeah, she becomes American Psycho 2. Yeah, exactly. She becomes a killer because she killed Patrick Bateman, which is like, I guess so.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And the cover is like her in a red dress, and it's like whatever that sword is, where it's like a sun sword, you know, or like a moon, like a half moon.
Oh yeah,
like a
like
a crescent moon
thing.
Yeah. That's what she's just holding. Which is even like, why does she have that? Patrick Bateman used like everyday weapons. Why, like, Patrick Bateman didn't use this fucking moon sword? But
it's Egyptian artifact.
Yeah, somehow not a third. And plus, hang on one second, is they announced a few years ago that they were doing a TV show, but I want to see when that was, because I feel like if it's been 2021, I feel like we're not getting that. I feel like that is not going to happen. It's a show that like I could see as a good miniseries. I don't think I could see it as a good like, hey, we're going to do 5 seasons of this. But I could see like if you were to do, hey, we're going to do a 6-hour long, you really get to break down everything in the book. Because in the movie, they don't touch everything. There's a therapist involved. There's like a moment where he maybe or maybe not kills a kid and stuff like that. So I could see that. Or unless it's like, did you ever watch Bates Motel?
I think I watched the first episode and then just never continued.
And have you ever seen the original Psycho?
No, I don't think other than like clips from just the memorable clips of that movie, but no, I haven't seen it all the way through.
So that's what that is, but it's like, it's a prequel, but it's in the sense of like they really reimagine the story. It kind of ends the same way, but it's like it takes a lot of the elements, and it's actually a good prequel. So that's the only way. But again, I just feel like if you go too long, I feel like you start to answer questions about Patrick Bateman, and if you give him an origin of why he's so messed up, then it's like, well, then he's definitely a killer because that, like, why, you know. So who knows? I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But yeah, we'll see. I'd love to retro Psycho as well, and maybe even, man, I don't know if you ever seen this. They at one point, Gus Van Sant remade Psycho in color, and it's just like shot for shot the exact same movie. Vince Vaughn is Norman Bates. Yeah, it's and even then, that's why you get it confused. Norman Bates, Patrick Bateman, you know, there's that connection. So Viggo Mortensen's in it as well, young Viggo before Lord of the Rings.
I'm very intrigued by that.
Yeah, it's not good though, because it's just shot. It's just shot for shot, and Vince Vaughn was not the right call to be the killer, Norman Bates.
When did it come out? When he was doing that
2000, I
stuff?
think. Yeah, when he was doing, because he did that. He did a movie, I can't remember the title of it, where it's an action movie. It's John Travolta, John Travolta, wife, kid, divorce. He goes off, and then like wife meets Vince Vaughn, who's like abusive, terrible father. And there's just lots of like, you better not touch my son. Like, what you gonna do about it, John? And like, it's like some sort of like, they're both like, I think John Travolta's a cop, and he's like he's probably some fucking war vet who got like discharged, like for like, it's something like that where he's the perfect guy, and it's like Vince Vaughn versus John Travolta. And remember that era too, Vince Vaughn was in the second Jurassic World, so he was trying.
Right. Yeah.
It's never really worked out for him, you know. He tried in True Detective, so there you go.
He tried.
Yeah, that's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
That's all you can do. Yeah. All links are down below. That's the opening, everybody. You can find everything your heart desires. It's out there somewhere around in the universe for us and stuff like that. This week, tomorrow we switched around because, Taylor's still locked up. But if he were to come back, we'll be recording our originals with him tomorrow. And then later on this week, I will be reviewing Fast 10. That should be a good enough time. We'll see how that goes. And then, I'm trying to think. There's nothing this weekend. Next week, we'll talk about that. We're going to be doing a show. Next week's a weird schedule. Geek First, side quests are all messed up. We'll get into that, but the showcase is happening on the Wednesday, so that's why we're doing a side quest then to kind of cover that news, because it'd be old. Plus, I'm not going to have Taylor on the PlayStation cast. You know, I'm sure he'd be excited about some stuff, but he's always just going to be like, it's no Games Pass, even though Redfall. Am I right?
You'd always be like, yeah, no, it seems okay, I guess. Not something
Not
that
for
I'm
me.
interested in.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Predator
like
hunting grounds.
Yeah, it's like Ghost Rider v Predator, and he's like, not really a game for me. That's literally the title of the movie. Domestic disturbance. Oh my.
Starring John Travolta and Vince Vaughn.
S Bubs, if you're not busy, quick, give me a look at the letterbox. Tell me what that score is. But I gotta look at that. But yeah, let's take our first ad break, and then we're gonna get into all the topics. We're talking Marvel, Echo, some trailers, some Lex Luthor, some PlayStation. So we'll be right back. And we're back. So the upfronts are happening this week. If people don't know, the upfronts are like for advertising and stuff TV. It's pretty much just the companies come out and say, this is what we'll be giving you in the next little bit. And then it's to be like, hey, are we interested in that show? Is that going to be a big show? How many ads should we purchase? Stuff like that. Works similar to podcasting and everything like that. So that's where it is Warner Brothers had theirs. Not much news came out of that. It's more on the business side. But we got a couple nuggets. 2.5 average on Letterboxd for, what was that? For domestic. Not that bad. It's not. But still, it's like a dead 50%. It's not bad, but it's not
great.
It's not
want to
great.
see that above 3, I would say.
Yeah, but I'll probably look out for that movie soon because I just remember trailers for it. I don't think I've ever seen it. So like this week, because I'm working at home, I watched like we'll get back tomorrow morning. I watch all the Little Focker, like Meet the Parents, Little Fockers, stuff like that. Never had seen Little Fockers before. Should have stayed that way. Watched Dodgeball, which honestly I didn't enjoy as much as I did as in my youth.
I know.
Yeah,
I remember going through that when it was added on Disney through whatever the add on that was.
When
I was so excited to go through. Yeah, there you go. I was so excited to go through and watch it again, and like the memorable scenes were still good. The main hitting points.
Ben Stiller's still
Ben
great.
Stiller,
Like,
Ben
yeah.
Stiller's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. But yeah, there's a lot of jokes that just did not age well, and just the overall story. It was like I remember this being so much better back in the day, but.
Yeah, no, I'm having a Ben Stiller Al Pacino mood and De Niro now. So yeah, that's where I did that. I watched Zoolander, 5 out of 5, and now I'm watching Heat. So lots of good stuff. Anyways, back to tomorrow. What we will be watching tomorrow. Talk about Loki and Echo. I did say that right. Loki and Echo. So Echo, that is coming out November 29th, but it's strange because so obviously since Disney Plus has started, there's been a few binge model things, but they've always been like I Am Groot or like the Star Wars, like Visions and stuff like that, but nothing to this degree because, and we're going to get a Loki in the kind of next topic here, but they announced, okay, Loki, that's coming out October, the regular, right now it's on a Friday, which they just can't make up their minds, but we'll talk about in a second. So that's October 6th. Then they said Echo's coming out November 29th, and it's going to be all binge. All episodes day one. They haven't said how many episodes, but we could probably guess like a 6 episode, I imagine, somewhere in there. Kirklepatzer, what do you think about this news? Because obviously they've experimented a lot. You know, at times they had like Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel on the same day. Then they did the Wednesday. They did the Friday. But this is their first time they're doing anything with a just full on. I'd say with one of the big ones, right? With Marvel Stories, a full binge live action show. Echoes all dropping on the same day. I'm a little strange as far as I don't like that Loki's dropping on a Friday, but Echo's dropping on a Wednesday. I feel like for a binge, it'd be smarter to drop the binge on the Friday because then you got everyone the whole weekend. That's just a personal choice as well as a podcaster because just would be better. But what do you think about this? Is one, obviously, you weren't around for the Netflix era where me and Dylan did that quite a bit. A lot more episodes. Those were like 10 to 12 episodes. So I don't think this will be as bad. And it probably won't be the same. Like we won't do it all in one day. But what do you think about that for your own self? And what do you think about that as far as like what's going on in the mind of the man who wears the cap, you know?
Yeah, and the cat man. I first of all, I'm happy that this is coming out this year. You know, I drafted a couple Echo type characters in my draft, so it's nice to know that I'm at least going to be getting some points for that, even though I feel like I'm already won.
No, disqualified. Remember disqualification.
Negative.
You still got
points
Loki
now.
out too. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Every time he appears, it's a negative now.
Yeah, exactly. So I am happy that this is coming out, and I'm not like I didn't love the character of Echo in her appearance, but I still think she's pretty interesting. So I'm excited to just find out more about that story and just the relation to Kingpin. And it's nice that I don't have to wait over a year for that. And just thinking about the binge model for it, I'm curious. It is kind of interesting knowing that this is the first time that they're doing it, and I'm curious as to just, is this going to be something going forward where it's, I don't know how they make the decision for what shows are going to go that binge model, but maybe it's yeah, I don't even want to. I was gonna say something a little bit more negative, where it's like maybe
Say
the
it.
quality of the show is just like a lesser degree in their eyes for like maybe a heavy hitter, like something that's gonna lead into like a main Avengers title or something. Kind of just what some of the consequence of WandaVision or Loki has kind of had. I feel like that isn't going to be the same consequence that comes out of something like Echo, but I could be entirely wrong for that. I don't have much substance to back that claim by any means, but yeah, it is interesting that they're doing that, and maybe it just makes it for their planning wise for show releases. Maybe it just kind of helps with that. It's like, when can we release the show? It's not so much like this is going to be taking
This nuisance of a show. Yeah.
I know I'm sounding pretty negative on the show already, but like maybe as opposed to having like a month-long release window where the show is going to be coming out for all these different weeks, it's just like, okay, we can just get it out. People can watch it at their own pace, binge it as much as they want, and I don't know, maybe it helps too for maybe if it gets to a certain episode in the season, let's say like halfway through, if you're releasing one a week and maybe the episode doesn't hit as hard with the general audience, you could be getting a lot of negative news or reviews or something for it, and then maybe that deters some people from wanting to continue on. So, but yeah, I'm curious.
I was just trying to go see what was coming out in 2024 just to refresh my memory. So I picked up the Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki, and it was 2024. I didn't know it was the 2024 for the actual like the universe. So it was like it's 2024, then it's like January 13th, 15th, 19th. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are there episodes already planned out? And then it's like, 13th, the Daily Bugle interviews Karen Orgerton about her experience performing open heart surgery when she disappeared along with her patient. So it's just like it's like stuff like that where it's like, what am I reading here? She comments a 5-year long continual surgery should be a record. Which, what the fuck is this? So like, how did person survive?
What are you talking about? Refresh my
So
memory.
okay, I don't know when this happened. I don't think I ever knew this information. So this is just by accident found. So the Daily Bugle interviews Karen Orgerton about her experience of performing open heart surgery when she disappeared along with her patient. She comments that a 5-year long continuous surgery should be the record. How did the person who was having the surgery survive? If I'm giving you open heart surgery and you have anesthetic, you're open on the tail, everything like that, when we come back, like, sure,
Just
you
ward
may,
off.
well, like, you might still be the person there, but when you come back, you're not gonna be hooked up to the machines and like,
Yeah, it's true.
very weird that I found that accidentally. Anyways, I'm gonna try and find what actually is coming out the 24th, because but if you want, there you go. You can literally look at facts of every single fucking year in the MCU and stuff like that. So let's go release dates. But no, what do you ever hinted? That's why I say, you keep going, because I'm somebody that I don't think this can be good. I don't see the benefit. Now, we were talking about this with Patreon, Clay, and I do understand, because my pitch was, hey, well, if it's good, you can't really build that. You can't catch the hype, right? Because it's one of these things that unless you're a massive, massive show, you come out, people talk for a week, and they move on and stuff like that. And maybe that's the case. So my pitch was, oh, well, if it, is great, it'll get momentum, everyone will love and stuff like that. But he countered with, and he's right, you have Andor and even Miss Marvel that, we were on, I think, a lesser side, but I feel like most people love that, and Andor loved that. And I don't think the numbers ever really, really picked up. So maybe you get that. Maybe you get that with Echo. It is something to try, where it is hey, we're going to see if we can just get this to trend for like a weekend, and people are going to check it out then, because it's not a weekly thing and all of them are there. And to be honest, there's shows like that where Ted Lasso, Succession, stuff like that, where right now I'm watching Love and Death. It's that Elizabeth Olsen HBO show. And even then, like, I hate it because it's back to weekly format, and it's fine. But like when we did the switch from weekly to binge, I was so wide. Like, I love just watch it all. It's done. Here we go. For content, yes, I like the weekly. But so I'm personally happy. I wish it was still on the Friday, because it would just work better, because for the weekend. But I'll probably just take the day off like I did old time wise. But so I guess that's the positive of maybe they're just trying to create that, like, an event, right? You can go watch it all right now. They can show off Fisk. They can show off Daredevil in the previews, because it's not like before when they're like holding Daredevil back for She-Hulk. Like,
Right.
well, we don't want to spoil episodes. And it's like, well, we know he's in the show, so maybe you're just gonna make it seem like this big thing. Luckily, Disney Plus episodes too, they're not like Netflix where they were full hours. These, lots of times when we tune in, they're like maybe under half an hour with credits and everything like that, right? So it's not like a full on, like a big binge. my big worry is, it's just not the quality. And like S Bub said here, there has been rumors of, well, just people saying apparently it's really good, but I think in terms of hype, it's one of the people that aren't really super excited for. Absolutely, I think this could do lower than Andor and Miss Marvel, because I just don't think I know anybody that's not a fan of the character already, and not a big MCU fan that's like, sure, I'll take it. I liked Echo, but who was asking for a solo show? And I'm not saying against that character, just they didn't give us enough of that character in what was it, Hawkeye, for me to be like, I really want to see more of her adventure. I'm just there right now for Fisk and Matt. Now, hopefully that'll change and I'll just fall in love with the show and the character. But so I hope that's it, where it's like, let's just try the binge, see what happens here, see the watch retention, because maybe that's it too, where they find people are trailing off of these shows, right? Maybe they're coming in for the premiere and they're watching, and then people are like, I'll get back to this. And we all know you're like this, I'm like this, Taylor's like this with video games or shows or movies. Not so much movies, I guess, but there's so many times where, like we talk about the morning show, right? Where I love that first season, but I still haven't gone back because it was a weekly release for season 2 and I just forgot about it. And every time I'm gonna get on it, and season 3 is about to come out in a couple months or something.
It's easy to fall behind in the weekly cycle.
Right? Yeah. So maybe that's the idea of, well, if we put it all out at once, it won't fall behind. So it's going to be interesting to see if they do this again. For podcasting wise, we're probably just going to review it the Friday. We'll have everybody watch a couple episodes and we'll get it out there. Don't worry. But I was not expecting this. Oh, that's what I was going to pull up, the release, right? So I was going to see what was coming out in 2024 to see, because the only thing I was wondering is because the calendar right now is we got, what is it? Secret Invasion's literally in a month, so it's June 16th. So we got that, and then after that ends, you got Ahsoka, and then that's in August, and then probably when that ends in October, you got Loki. So I understand that. My only concern too is if this doesn't pay off, is I said this in the Discord, where we're literally have a writer strike right now. The actors are initializing a vote to go see if they're gonna go on strike, and the DGA is also talking about their terms. So you could have a Hollywood that shut down for a long time if this all goes very poorly. So to me, it's strange to release all that content at once. You would think you want to hold back as much content, so it's well, even if it's not the greatest show, it's 6 weeks of something, where now it's just a one and done and people might just watch it. But I don't know. Anyway, sorry, you were gonna say before I was looking at the release dates.
Well, I was just gonna add on that I didn't really answer your question on how I feel about the binge style, and it does help a lot knowing that it isn't just gonna be an hour-long episode. Because if it's an 8-9 episode show, if it's an 8-9 episode show or season, sorry, fuck, that's 8-9 hours. That's my whole one of my weekend days gone. If I'm I'm definitely not like you or Dylan, the hardcores that were just binging it the night of, and you were saying you might be taking a day off for that, which, I mean, you might need to if it is the hour-long route. But
no matter what, I'll take the day off. I'm an impatient person. If it was something else, no, because I know Daredevil's in there, I gotta get me my mat. I'm gonna take the day off, stay as late as possible. Maybe I'll drop a non-spoilers thought, but then we'll do a full spoilers break. Don't worry, we won't make you guys do that. We'll we're not going backwards.
Or I'm out.
Watch us be a big hit, and then every show from now on is just binge style, and it's
binge style. I love that term too. That's why I stole it for my name. I've never
binge style.
Never used that. It's oh man, I tackled those Doritos last night. Binge style. It's
I've done that a few too many times. Binge style
could be many different things, but no. So I think having shorter episodes makes the binge style a lot easier. It really is dependent on how I'm feeling on those early episodes. So I hope they deliver really, really well. And because if it's a slog to get through the first 2 episodes, fuck, you're in it for the long haul with the binge style. You can't just be well, at least I have 7 days to recover before the next episode and see what happens there.
But is that the reverse, maybe? That maybe a few of those episodes are like that? Remember they did that with Andor, where to me it's if they released episodes 1 and 2, I liked them, but they were very slow, right? And they released those first 3 together, so it's you got that arc of okay, there was action, but you got to see the story. So maybe it's this, where, and that's fine. I'm completely fine if this is if it is very character focused on Echo, that's fine. I mean, if the GA is oh, it's kind of boring, maybe that's where if it feels a big longer movie, the GA will stick with it because it's not so much a weekly show. It's oh, well, the beginning's a little slow, but now this in the middle episode, Fisk shows up and Daredevil and maybe who else, and S-Bub's absolutely a Zoa. I'll be binging out. I'll be breaking out some Zoas for the Echo the Echo watch and stuff like
Zoa
that.
Plus.
Zoa Plus, yeah. So God. So
Yeah.
what's coming out in 2024? So movies, not that they matter, but Captain America: New World Order, Thunderbolts, Blade, that's not happening, and Deadpool. Right now, Captain America's good. That's filming right now. Deadpool's about to film. That's good. Thunderbolts, I feel iffy on that one because I feel like it was a month before they had announced new writers. So unless they got that script in really fast, that one's iffy. Blade, we know that's gone down the water. And then I guess I kind of forgot about this, right? In X-Men 97 still supposedly listed for this fall. So I wonder, do you think that'll be weekly?
X-Men.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it would be. I don't know why. Maybe
Because it's not going to have the same event feel, as the other ones, right? But What If was weekly.
I think that one will be a binge style, and if it is weekly, I could see them doing again something really new where they do like a couple episodes like a week. I don't know, to do like
double header
or so. Yeah, double header. They haven't done that before, but for an animated show, I feel like it does fit because, I mean, going through X-Men Retro right now, there is a lot of multi-episodes arc that they could do. There's a handful that are two-parters, some that are more than that, but I don't think every episode has to be a two-parter like that, but
no.
I just think it fits better that route. But that being said, I still think it'll be binge style all at once.
Really?
I could see that one being delayed as well if, I don't know, they just have to shift some things down.
Yeah, I could see that one. Man, it's funny for their patrons. It's been a while since we've done X-Men. I'm excited to get back to it next month. That's because there's been vacations and stuff. But it feels like forever ago when we recorded
because we lost 2 members. Stuff, so. We can't do it again until we get
we can't. Yeah, no more X-Men Retro until we hit those 50 patrons, people. No, don't worry, we're not taking away. But Ironheart right now is listed as fall 23. But that already in the port there was a report. Sorry, by Variety. Let me speak English. That Ironheart and Agatha were going to be 2024. So then right now, so I'd imagine Ironheart would probably be first, like early. Agatha's winter 2024. And here's the other thing: is Daredevil Born Again is spring 2024. But even then, like at the end of the day, it's not like theatrical. They can bump all these down. So the whole thing, like if you are going, I've seen this theory of like, well, they gotta get it out before Daredevil. It's like they can push Daredevil back at any point. You know, it's not like unless there's something in the MCU. But do I really think that Daredevil's going to interfere with Deadpool or Captain America? I don't think so. I don't see much tie between those two and stuff like that. So who knows? Maybe it is just a try and we'll see. Maybe it is something that they're not confident in and they want to get it out there. Yeah, and then the other ones are Marvel Zombies and Spider-Man Freshman Year. But again, I don't think the animated projects, they really care too much. I'll be very curious because we know there's supposedly an X-Men 97 season 2 already in the works. So I guess X-Men 98, but I'll be very curious. There's a rumor right now. Speaking of Echo, the actress, I can't remember her name. It's like Akila No. Her name's not Cox as well, is it? No, I'm just making that up.
Charlie Cox's daughter.
Yeah. Anyways, the one that plays Echo, a fan asked her what Comic-Con she's doing for signings, and she listed July 22nd. So we're thinking that's the Marvel one. I'll be very interested in this like whole like Marvel pullback and Feige being back. Oh, it is Cox. Look at that. Uncle Cox. There you go. The Cox family. I'll be very. What is it?
I don't know if that's it, but
okay. I thought you were very confident. So I was like, he must have.
It's all about confidence, Travis.
Yeah. I'll be very curious if we get any more animated stuff announced, or if they're just gonna wait to see how all that stuff does. Because remember, we heard all those like cutbacks and everything. So see everything, and then that was the other thing in Captain America. Yeah, Seth Rollins is finally in the New World Order. Well, yeah, funny enough, Samuel, one of our patrons, who also said R.I.P. to 40-minute long Easter egg videos after each episode for Echo. So yeah, those people that do those for a living, those like break down the episodes. Yeah, that's gonna be
they're pissed.
Yeah, they're definitely pissed. No, they're definitely a piss. Like, and hey, there's even an argument for us too at some point, right? But for me, it all depends how the show performs as well, because the show doesn't get watched, then it doesn't make too of a difference for us. But yeah, in the Marvel news, Seth Rollins is in Captain America, so I'm looking forward to that. I think he's probably just going to be like the GSP role.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
and like I have nothing against that though. Like I love GSP his usage in Marvel. He maybe I was gonna say maybe one line too many, but I don't even think so. I think for the overall scale of what the
he came back in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah. So I don't know. I like seeing celebrities fit where they should, not so much of like a celebrity being just another actor that's in it, but like someone that like they're in there because they've excelled in their own field. So I think he'll do really good too. I think he's got a good look for just a villain.
Apparently he's playing Cobra, who, like, if you look up Marvel Cobra, he's not gonna look like anything yet. Like, he looks like a villain.
He's gonna do a wrestling move. He's gonna do like a very popular
uses,
wrestling move.
He could. Apparently, I've heard that John
GSP
Cena
did like a classic MMA attack.
Well, The Rock has done the rock bottom in several movies. Apparently, John Cena does the attitude adjustment in this newest one. I don't know if Batista's ever done the Batista bomb. I don't know if that's happened.
Is that his intro with his gun thing, or is that
no? That's just his intro. No, that's just his entrance. The Batista bomb. I don't think so. yeah, maybe, yeah, in place of a gun. No, the Batista bomb is like, it's a power bomb, but you sit down with the opponent. It's a whole thing. And then his could, because Seth Rollins' finisher is just a curb stomp, so very easy to do on an enemy.
A lot of bad guys do that.
Yeah, and it's so funny because when you see him on set, because like Seth Rollins, very fit guy, very like big guy, but it's this thing where you almost lose sight, because when I saw him on set, he's up next to all these people. I'm like, man, he's fucking massive. But when I'm watching him wrestling, like, he just seems like, oh yeah, he's like a bigger in shape guy, because there's all these other dudes on the roster that like, fuck, like
is he
this
tall?
and that. But like he's like 6'3" or something.
Is
like
he
that.
actually?
Yeah,
I always thought he was like
so.
5'9" or something. I don't know why. Maybe I've just seen him up standing next to.
Rollins'
oh my gosh,
height.
what's his name?
Let's take a look.
Who's the other Samoan guy?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. I feel like I just always saw him as like a little version of him.
I'm a little version. I'm sick and tired of every time I search height, it's always 1.85.
Oh, I know, man. That is such
no one uses that. No
you
one
gotta type
uses that.
in feet. FT.
Yeah. In feet.
That being said, though, hate the Imperial
He's 6'1". Oh yeah,
Okay.
he's 6'1", and Roman Reigns about 6'2". So, but that's it. It's just one of these things that, as a wrestling fan, I'm like, oh yeah, he's like he's a big guy, of course. I'm not disputing, but then when he's around normal people, it's like all these people look like on these set videos, they all look so fucking small. I'm like, right, because that's his living. He's supposed to look good, and I just forget about it. But hey, it's a good showcase for him. See if it leads to anything. You know, his wife was almost an Eternal, so we'll see whatever happens there. So
she was.
What? Yeah, I am too, but who knows what? But apparently she was in an end credit, so I don't know. Like, was she playing a character that was going to be important? Yeah, that was Becky Lynch's role. That she was in an end credit for Eternals, but they cut it. They don't know if she ever filmed something. She was Pip, yeah. Well, it's described as a depressing scene, so I don't mean that was just little Becky Lynch, like, sire.
It's depressing if I saw that.
Yeah, Pip the Troll is depressing.
But it was Becky Lynch, too. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but hopefully. I have no offense against him. I feel like I'm just shitting on Seth Rollins. I love Seth Rollins. He's probably my top 10 for WWE. I'm not a fan of his character right now, but check out Travis Told You. I think Becky Lynch will do great, though, one day. Once she's in something, she has just that different aura about her. But S-Bubs asked, do you think any of the other previous Disney Plus Marvel Star shows could have benefited from the binge release? If so, which ones? Head over to Patreon, as always. Send a question beforehand. You can do it if you watch live, but if you send it beforehand, don't worry, we'll always answer it. But yes, and that's at any tier. For me, the one that nothing Star Wars jumped to my mind, because I feel like Andor's slow enough that people would have. I feel like it would have had the same response. I feel like people wrote that off as, oh, it's Andor. I don't care about Andor. I think the only one I would have liked to have seen it with is, I think Miss Marvel could have worked out with, because you could have made an event, I feel like, with that show being so fun and snappy, but not big stakes. Like, it does get big stakes. Yeah, bag stakes. Big I went to the store to get some bag steaks, and they're for $5, and I love them all. I cook them every night, the bag steaks. I love my bag steaks. Go see Blade.
I feel like you had a perfect Mia Goth there until you said the bag steaks. That was just
bag steaks. Yeah, but you said that was like Mia Goth, you know?
No, you did well. You never cease to amaze me with your voices.
I heard her talking about J-Lo was the craziest thing.
I saw
just that voice. Yeah, just, I love J-Lo. She's always moving and shaking, and that's who I wanted to be. I thought I could be Emgo with my bag steaks. But anyways, where the fuck were we? Oh,
for the big
I hated,
stakes
yeah,
of the
at
show.
Marvel, big stake, Miss Marvel, the big stakes eventually came near the end. But what I think would have benefited is people watching and just feeling it's like a very kind of like teeny, young adult show. I feel like that could have done better if it was episode after episode after episode. I could feel, one, a lot of people didn't check out the premiere, but I could feel a lot of people sticking with that as just like even on the background, or I like these characters. I don't know if they liked the world and the characters enough to come back every week. That's my thing. So, because I think about like stuff, I don't know, like what are those Netflix rom-coms or shows? Like I feel like there's some young shows on Netflix where it's like a bunch of people are watching them, but like, and there's just,
Bridgerton. I don't know if that's a young audience.
that's like rated R
You said
sex
Netflix.
stuff.
You said
I
Netflix.
guess, but I'm
Young
not comparing
adults.
the Bridgerton. You think the Bridgerton audience is watching Miss Marvel? I don't think so. I think Bridgerton,
I
the
am.
Shame audience.
I'm an audience for both those shows.
Yes, the small Venn diagram. No, I meant like there's some. Isn't there a show right now called like it's Showstopper? Like the main couple is like two guys and they're in love. It's coming back in August. Or there's like
For shows, I can only really think of the Netflix like movies for that.
yeah, and I know "To All the Boys Ever Love" is like a movie, but I just feel like that audience. I feel like
Kissing
a binge.
Booth. That's another one too.
You said Puss in Boots. I'm like, no, not you're killing it with these comparisons tonight. Puss in Boots,
I'm like
big
Drax
audience.
with metaphors over here.
Puss in Boots and Bridgerton, big crossover things. But I'm trying to say bag steaks. Heartstopper. Thank you, yes, Bubs. Yeah, like that's a show that's like teeny romance and stuff. Emily loves and things. So that's the only one I would think that could have done better. There was a part of me that thought Obi-Wan of like you could make it like this big event and everything like that, but Miss Marvel's the only one that I think to me would have worked and
Yeah.
maybe been more successful. I think the other ones would have had the same level of success.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, to answer S-Bub's question, the first one I thought of was Miss Marvel, as well as just because like I think that show hit really well at the beginning for all of us, and then really like went downhill. But I feel like that downhill wouldn't have felt so steep if it was just like in a binge watch situation where you
Probably,
could just
yeah.
power through it and get through it in that moment, and you probably would still be feeling the same way at the end of it. But it's not like, oh, I wasted. I stayed up. I mean, not everybody stayed up for midnight for it, but it's like, fuck, really? Stayed up for that? It ended up being a fun review, nonetheless, talking about the episode. But that was the first one that came to my mind. The other one was Moon Knight, that like initially just popped in my head, but I take that back now that I think about it a little bit more. Now that I stew on it a little bit,
Because the
just
theory
because
crafting.
the theory crafting for sure,
Yeah.
and just thinking of what's going to be coming next. And that one was really fun to be staying up for the midnight reviews. And I think, like I really enjoyed that show throughout the entire thing. But some people, make the argument maybe it went down a little bit near the end of the show. And that's one where, I mean, compared to Miss Marvel, I feel like the steep decline down for the show definitely wasn't as noticeable. I mean, speaking for myself, I didn't really think that too much all in all, but I think if we just binged it, it would have been you'd be missing out on those theory crafting moments. And
Yeah.
it was a fun one to be talking about like during those weeks. So I feel like any show that wasn't necessarily in that regard, you could probably put in that binge category. Of course, it's so much easier to look back on it. Hindsight's 2020. So yeah, I redact my Moon Knight pick. For the other Marvel ones, I think like even with She-Hulk, like I really enjoyed that one all the way through. So I would have wanted to just binge watch it because it would have been just a really fun show to watch. And then of course you could just get kind of your same argument with Echo being binge style. Like you just want to get to the Daredevil stuff as opposed to waiting every week. But that also helps just the overall chatter of the show week to week. Like when are we going to be getting it? So
Plus
that's
that had
kinda,
like Megan Thee Stallion. Like they had like things
Yeah.
every week that I thought like made them in the talking point, where I guess that
Right.
would have been a talking point, but I think that would have been like you had those two, you had Hulk's son, you had like the Kevin Feige, the Feige bot. Like I feel like there's tons of stuff that they were fine for the weekly release, but same thing, maybe people wouldn't have fell off that one, the people that did, because
yeah.
it would have been shorter and a very easy binge. Like that's a weekend, that's a day binge right there. Those episodes were like 20, like, and I guess Wong was in some Abomination, like, but those
Totally.
episodes were what, 20-ish minutes or something like that. So
Something
you
like
could have
that.
finished that pretty easy.
Oh, for sure. The other one, I guess, like Hawkeye. In hindsight, I think it fits that binge style if you like release it just around that holiday
Yeah.
area. I mean, it was in the holiday mode, and it did like finish leading up right into Christmas. So that kind of worked out there. But yeah, I don't know. It could fit that binge style if I'm really trying to pick multiple titles here. And then jumping to Star Wars, it's funny because I feel like I my mind goes Mando, which is funny because that show was the the biggest Disney show for a long time. Well, it was also the one that came out with it. So in the early stages, like the week to weeks were amazing, and I guess they still were by the end. But season 3 is the most binge style type show because I think there's a lot of episodes in it that reminded me, and I brought this up on some of on the review episodes that I thought it was applicable for, but certain episodes just felt like almost like a Clone Wars type episode where it's not necessarily a filler, but it's just okay, yeah, no, like we kind of deviated from the main route of where we were going for this, and I think you either liked it or you didn't, but it wasn't so much integral to the main Mando plot. And if you have the binge style for it, it's a lot easier to just kind of get through that and then jump onto the next one, as opposed to like kind of what I was making the argument earlier for Miss Marvel. It's like, oh, I just wasted, like staying up, or like, oh, now I have to wait another week to get answers for this. Like,
I would have been so pissed at 2 a.m. watching that skeleton thing happen to Miss Marvel. What is that? I didn't really enjoy this program. Gosh.
No big stakes. I
No
can't
big
do it.
stakes.
I'm not good at voices at all.
I can't believe they made me stay up.
I love J-Lo.
There's just something. The only thing I can't achieve is like her pitch, because she's just like,
It's
I can kind of get
unnatural.
the whininess, but the pitch is so high. I can't. Like, I keep trying, but like, she sells. But I can't get the pitch and the voice at the same time. It's
One
very
day.
tough. But
Just
one
keep
day,
trying.
when I become a ventriloquist,
Yeah. It's good that you work at
Anyways.
home. You could just do shit like that all day.
All day I'm just with a puppet, with the Mia Goth puppet. What did you think of my
Emily
movie?
comes home. You're like, oh, you're home?
What are you doing? Yeah. Oh, you're home so early. I didn't think you'd be here. Oh, okay. Let's take an
Scaring
ad
the
break.
kids.
I'm Mia Goth. Okay, let's take an ad break. We'll get into more topics. We'll be right back. We're back. You have to study we're back. I don't know what the fuck that intro was. You have to study the Mia Goth Blueberry clip. What is that one?
I haven't seen that one. Can we pull that up live?
Yeah, I think we're
Live
going to
reaction.
pull that up live. Yeah, let's see. YouTube Mia.
Blueberry.
Are you pulling up?
No, you pull it up. I never get audio for some reason when I share videos.
Oh, right. I think it's on the host or something like that. Blueberry.
It's probably the settings. I'm just too lazy.
Watch it
to
be
look.
some fucking like he's like bringing us to some like porn or whatever video. It's gonna
It's
get
a guy
us
doing a
full, like,
helicopter or something.
I got hit with that.
Oh, I
once.
did too. It's still ingrained in my memory seeing that.
Did you get the video, like the spin me right round thing?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, I'm
Go
glad
check out this
that
website, guys. You'll love what you see.
You spin me
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and it's just a guy's dick flinging around. Like
I thought it
my-
was
like,
a dude like getting rammed by another guy, and then it's.
Oh, that was
causing the-
yours.
I think that was mine. I
Oh
got an
no,
extra
mine
one.
was just a guy standing like this, and he was swinging it back and forth into the
Yeah, mine was a
camera.
close up of just what I said. So there you go.
Oh, good old
Early days of
good old
internet.
days. Yeah. Okay, so I did find it here. So tell me if you got audio there when I share it.
I got audio.
Okay, first, I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. But hang on, this is something. Hang on, we're gonna get.
If I wasn't an actor, I think I would own a bakery and I would call it Mamma Mia's, and I would have blueberry pancakes. It would be a blueberry theme.
God love her, man. There you go.
Oh, she's phenomenal. Blueberry.
Blueberry. I had blueberry pancakes.
Like, where's
and
she
I'd
from?
Make
What
them all,
dialect is that?
and I'd eat them. she always sounds like a Dora Explorer, like Teletubbies character. Like, I would love to have all the Cheerios, and it would make my life complete. I love Loki. Where is she from?
London,
It's just
England. Or
Yeah, they
it says
don't-
Guy's
yes.
Hospital, London.
She's from the hospital. Oh. Anyways, let's continue on before we lose more viewers here. Loki, that's coming out. Loki, October 6th. They announced that. That's going to be on the Fridays. As of right now, 6 episodes. It's interesting because it premieres and finales on 2 Marvel movies. We'll see if it sticks. We'll see if it premieres on the Friday and then moves to Wednesday. But right now, comes out the same day as Kraven the Hunter. So look out, Loki. You got some big competition there. And I legitimately feel like there's so many people that would just like, we'll see both, but I feel like legitimately people are just like, I'll stay home and watch Loki. You know, like that's the thing with TV. And then the finale, if it happens, supposedly would be the same day as the Marvels. So that's why I don't think that's going to happen. I think that at least the finale of Loki will move back to the Wednesday and stuff like that. They've done it before, but I feel like they like to spread them a little bit. But as of right now, that's the date and everything like that. Obviously, Ant-Man and the Wasp there's been lots of talk about this again because October, people are like, hey, why is it so late? It was supposed to be earlier. Maybe that's the production. Maybe that's with the Jonathan Majors stuff they're dealing with. I'm not laughing at Jonathan Majors. I just thought of the name Jonathan, and you'll get it in a couple of years.
Yes.
But so what was I saying here? Oh, so Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, and in all the releases for the public, majority of them, they all just talk about that the Ant-Man crew are facing off against a great threat or an evil foe. They don't use the word Kang, or they don't use Jonathan Majors and stuff like that. There has been a scooper that, let me see what the quote, I'll get the full, let me look at the full thing that he had put out, because people were asking about this, but like, hey, like, what does this mean? Like the recast stuff like this. So this is a guy that has a good tracker. Update on the Majors Marvel situation. It appears there is an order on a promotional material articles from Disney regarding Quantumania. Like I said, under no circumstances is any article allowed to mention Jonathan Majors or his involvement in the film as Kang. In addition, the new Disney article that meant to promote the film referenced Majors and his role as a new threat or that frightens everyone, as opposed to mentioning the actor. Alex, this is the guy, sorry. The same guy that was giving those scoops. He also mentions that, and I quote, the answers to Major's future is revealed at the end of Loki season 2. So I don't know. Just a live, I said a live firing, like he gets fired like a fourth wall breaking.
Kevin Robot comes and just fires him.
Yeah, this was not in the plans. Yeah. I think that the date, I just think it's like, you look at the schedule already, Secret Invasion, Ahsoka, I feel like it's good to space them out. So fall, okay, you got Loki there, get when it's ready. I think it is smart because like I think his next court date, we haven't really talked too much about on Geekverse, but I think his next court date is like in July or August. So like you got some more time, you have to change something. I know people keep putting this out there. I don't think you will do, they're not going to delay it to reshoot or anything like that. I think they're just going to put it out as is and just figure it out after. The tweet of like, you'll reveal his fate at the end, I feel like what's going to happen is maybe it'll end in a way where that a Kang or two disappears and they make it that it's ambiguous if Kang would come back. Like they'll make it seem like Loki, let's say, defeated Kang, or even the world of, I would love that. If he defeats the world of Kangs and you lose all those points, my God, that'd be fantastic. But I feel like they'll do it in a way where it's ambiguous. So then if they bring Majors back, if that trial goes all good, then great. If they don't, they can recast. I'm on the bandwagon that if they recast, I would love it if they got a different actor for Kang every project. I think that would be really fun. Of like, just get like a plethora of great actors. Situation. Yeah, every next Avengers, next whatever, Deadpool, get like a plethora of great actors playing Kang, and like unfortunately, Majors was a guy that could do all that stuff. But if you're gonna go the other route, make it that way. I just think the two things are, they're not going to recast, reshoot anything. They're doing that. It's October 6th is happening. I don't think they're going to talk about Majors at all. That's going to be a bitch press tour for them. But all they have to do is just have good agents that say, hey, we're not taking questions about this. If you do, we're not talking to you. And then 2, they're not going to say anything until after Loki. Because if he's still in there, I feel like it just creates even more drama. Unless it was something very, and I'm not saying that the abuse isn't bad. I'm saying that it's still it still is until proven guilty, right? It's still in the middle. It's not like he was caught like with a knife over someone and then he'd killed them, right? So it's something where I don't see them doing anything. I'm not trying to lessen abuse. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I just like, it's not a full. It's still there's still a trial that has to happen, right? Or a trial that maybe has to happen. It's not cold cut.
Questions
and
need
stuff like that.
answering.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that they will wait until after, and then like I said, unless it was something very, very bad, which abuse is, but I mean very, very bad that he's dead to rights. There's no way to prove that he's not guilty. I don't know what the point of is announcing it yet. Like kind of wait. But yeah, what do you think? Obviously, there's not much about the date, but what do you think about some of this Kang business? Because we haven't really talked about this, because we were waiting to talk about it in Geekverse, so there's some official, but now it looks like it's going to be one of these things that, because it's going to court, it's going to be like dragged out. So it's one of these things that he may not, like the trial or court case still may be going on when Loki comes out, and it might not even be, whether he's guilty or not guilty, it might not even be resolved till then. So they're kind of in this like tricky situation of like, okay, do you stand by the guy? And then if it goes bad, it's like, fuck, we shouldn't have stand by him. I think the good thing is, not the good thing, because there's bigger things in life, but the thing they're kind of lucky on in a bad way is if the writer's strike and other strikes delay things, that means Avengers will get delayed. And that does kind of give them a bit more time to figure it out, because there's no way Avengers is coming out 2020. It's 5, I think it is. There's no way. That's not happening.
2 movies.
Yeah.
By the way, Travis.
No. Remember, they delayed that.
Oh,
Remember?
I know, but still, the original plan.
Remember that? Yeah, 2
yeah.
movies 6 months apart. Yeah, but what do you think about this all? What do you think they're gonna do? But yeah, October 6th, Loki.
Yeah, it's tricky. I feel like now that we've gotten like the first big. Never mind. Let me rephrase that. Like we've gotten just further ways that Disney is handling the situation, with like just them describing Ant-Man Quantumania on Disney Plus and just like not having Major's name or Kang's name like anywhere on it. Reading it, like it is kind of weird just knowing like what the movie is.
Bad.
But also knowing what's going on, I was reading that, I'm like, I guess that fits. It's I like it works. And just thinking further down the line, if they have to promo like Kang Dynasty or even just the stuff with Loki season 2, I feel like there's very reasonable ways that the marketing side or the PR team can like really just navigate this. They're experts in their field, and although this is an abnormal situation, it's not entirely brand new to the whole extent of just having to be attached to someone that's, I don't know if controversial is the right term right now, but just problematic. Yeah, exactly.
Because not even him, just like even if he's innocent, it's just a problematic situation.
It's a situation. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Because even like if he was innocent and has trial dates and stuff like that, that messes up with shooting and plans and stuff like that. And it's like,
for sure,
Loki season 1 was still the biggest show in Disney Plus history, and they didn't have Kang for that or any big villain, right?
Yep.
Like you go back to those previews. I don't think they showed off. They didn't even show off.
They showed Hiddleston, and that was enough.
Yeah, they didn't show female Loki. Like the Sith. Like obviously she's not what Sylvie. Sorry, that's who it was. But like
Sith.
Yeah, sorry.
Sith
I said Sif. No, Sif like Lady
know,
Sif.
yeah.
Not Sith Loki.
I heard what I wanted
like,
to hear.
Yeah, but like it was just Hiddleston and Owen Wilson running around doing stuff. They didn't show the multiple Lokis. They didn't show Sylvie. They didn't show Kang. Like. And that was like, I think the good thing with them with Hiddleston and Loki, you can literally just do that and people will come back because one, they like the first show, and he's still one of the he's in the A tier of Marvel characters, like that hasn't even like Hawkeye wouldn't count. I was gonna say Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Falcon Winter Soldier, all these other characters. I don't think they're in the A tier. Would you count Nick Fury as the A tier for Secret Invasion?
For just like characters, Marvel characters.
Yeah, because I feel like Loki to me is an A. Like, okay, I'll say S tier for Marvel characters. You like people's favorite. That's I feel like because he's like he's not been in so much. He's like down a little level. I
was gonna say I could make the argument for like A-, B+ if we're really if we're really trying to go to that full extent on the letter grade system.
Yeah, because it's the same thing where I feel like WandaVision made Scarlet Witch into an A character, but I don't think she was an A character when that show started. Like I think you can elevate that stuff. Same way, sure. I feel like Hawkeye, like I think he stayed about the same, maybe a little bit better. Moon Knight, I think he's definitely not. You're not A character till you get in the movies. I'm sorry, people don't get mad at me, but like you gotta be in the movies to be an A character.
Or do you put him C?
I put him B because that show did very well, and I think people did like it. I think numbers were good for that, so I feel like he's in the B. I feel like he's in the B squad.
Oscar Isaac,
yeah, Oscar Isaac. I feel like Mackie. I feel like he's like went from a B to B+, but I feel like he's getting his own movie. That's gonna make him. That's gonna be the A tier stuff, So
Hopefully, unless it's fucking awful, but hopefully it's not.
yeah, well, Seth Rollins gonna bring it down. No, I'm pissed about it though because this set photos. I'm so mad. He has a new suit, and it's not the suit from the finale. It's
really?
not the comic book accurate suit. It's like a mix of like Steve's stealth suit and his Falcon suit. It looks
always
good,
do
but it looks
that,
like
eh?
shit. I hate that. Yeah, we only got it for one episode. It's like this fucking so good looking suit, and now it's just gone. It's just lame, stupid. Big
Hopefully
L
it-
for them.
Hopefully, he has multiple suits throughout, or something like that, where he's changing
Yeah.
his attire, night missions.
I've heard the cases. That's the main suit. So, fuck me, right?
Well,
And
fuck.
then, yeah.
Depressing.
And then some other little news, all these things stopping the strike. They didn't stop Venom 3 because that's going forward, so that's great. You got Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'm happy they're all getting their work and stuff like that, so good for them. But then it was announced this week that Chiwetel Ejiofor is joining the cast. The rumor is he's going to be the villain because that was the rumor that was confirmed. They haven't said that yet. They haven't said what villain it may be. So I don't know what that means for fucking talks and that they set up in the first movie. Clearly, they didn't think that actor was going to be leading the charge. But yeah, that's happening. I'll throw to Kirkland in a second. The only reason I add this in here is because, technically, Venom has a villain. Great actor. I'm just more pissed about Chiwetel Ejiofor because I don't know if you ever saw 12 Years a Slave, but you're searching who Chiwetel Ejiofor is, aren't you?
Yeah, is that the guy
Mordo.
from? Yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
great
yeah.
actor, phenomenal. I haven't seen 12 Years a Slave. I never found myself to be in the right just mood to watch
yeah.
that movie.
But that's the depressing thing is like that movie's depressing, but like he acted before. He's in Love Actually. He's in a bunch of stuff, but that broke him out. He got a nomination. And I don't know. He is one of these people that like I talk about.
Day
Zac
After
Efron.
Tomorrow. Don't forget that movie. Most popular.
Don't forget it.
Geekverse retro review ever.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, Dennis Quaid forgot about that movie. You've seen that interview, right?
No, I haven't.
So when they were promoting whatever Strange Worlds, Jake Gyllenhaal, that Disney movie that came out last year that didn't do well. I think it's Strange Worlds.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Dennis Quaid and Jake Gyllenhaal, they play father and son again, but in animated form. And they talked about the interviews like, oh, so you're doing this for the second time? And Dennis Quaid had no idea. He had completely forgotten that they did Day After Tomorrow. So look it up. It's a
He's
fun
gotta
time.
give it a watch.
Yeah, but my disappointment is just like, man, this guy's aging is just, he's just fucking old. He's 12 Years a Slave, this Academy stuff. Doctor Strange was a good move. I'm just kind of disappointed that we'll see what happens with 3, but I'll always be disappointed with like Doctor Strange 1. They set him up like always he's clearly gonna be the big bad in the next one, and he's like in the second one for like 10 minutes. And I feel like with the third one, I don't know, Charlize Theron like ripping through the reality, being like, we gotta fix convergence or whatever there. I was like, I don't feel like he's the big bad there either, so it's just like I just feel like he's got a raw deal then, and now it's like, okay, well, it's not working out there, so I'm gonna go over to like be the Sony Marvel bad guy. And like, man, I know as you say it's Nolan time. Like if you're saying Null is coming and you got Chiwetel Ejiofor, that's great because he is a great actor. One, it's hard for me to buy because I don't think big rumors have said that yet. Maybe I'm wrong. I suppose let me know. But even then, too, it's like I just don't know how I feel about them doing Null and like this version of Venom, and with like the 50 Shades of Grey writer now directing this. Like, I would not be too. I'm happy to watch the shit show that is Null being in a Sony movie. But yeah, I'm just more disappointed with this guy. Of like. He's like, and there's that Old Guard movie on Netflix. He's just been in bad stuff since 12 years. And man, you gotta change up that agent. But yeah, or Orange Venom, just some sort of Venom and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know if you have any. If you have nothing saying that's fine. If you have anything saying Null, but if not, we can move on. But I had those.
Don't give me Null.
news, but,
Don't give me Null. I want to see that.
But
done
you're a fan of
with
Null.
I am a fan, and that's why I don't want to see it a part of this Venom verse.
Like
I'm
Carnage?
a huge
What happened to
fan
him?
of Carnage. Yeah, and then I got that, and now
fucking Woody Harrelson.
I
Like,
haven't
what did
even
they
gone
do
back
to
to that
him, man?
movie, and I don't want to, which is crazy because
No.
I have live action like symbiote focused
Yeah.
content, and it's just unfortunate. First Venom, it's good enough, but
Passable.
I don't want to keep going down this.
I kind of forget
this route.
sometimes that we had a Carnage live action, and that's sad.
That is extremely sad. If I would have told myself like 10 years ago, like, oh,
Yeah.
just you wait, you're getting a Venom trilogy live action. Venom itself will look like the physical suit will look
Yeah.
really cool, but
You don't even know about Null, but he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in a movie, and Carnage is gonna be played with Woody Harrelson. Oh, Woody Harrelson! I love Woody. Even I remember when me, Kyle, and Liam were doing Dynamic Duo, and Liam was like, "I don't want a fucking Venom movie. I'm done with that." And then it was like Tom Hardy's being Venom, and we were like, "Okay, I'm into it now." So the same thing back then, and the guy who plays Bane, that's gonna be Venom too. Oh shit! On paper, it's all there. On paper, it's all even then, it's Andy Serkis directing all this stuff.
All the right pieces are on the board.
He was good as Scar. I guess he was good as Scar Superman, Mike, but it's not what you want to do. Okay, I get it that you got to do a payday. I'm not saying that. Take out the payday. It's just is that what you want to do? You want to go from being an Academy Award nominated actor to being Scar? I don't know. I don't know. His career has just gone in such a weird path, but yeah.
Here we are. See him in Venom 3. We'll be there for the review.
Oh yeah, because movie. If we go on strike, this will be one of the few movies that come out. So there we go. End of that cut out. Bradley Cooper as Lex Luthor. It's gonna happen. No, it's not, because it's already been shot down. But these are some rumors I just want to talk about quickly with Kirkland. But yeah, so that came out this week. So last week, I guess this weekend, all that Superman Legacy rumors came out and everything, which I'll pick Kirkland's brain on in a second. But then there was a report that as of right now, there's a mix. There's one A tier. I'll lay the land up for you, Kirkland. There's one A tier scoop that says that Nicholas Holt's going for Superman, and then the other one says no, he's Lex. And they doubled down this week by saying he's right now the only person as Lex Luthor that's been talked about. But that was before, because what apparently happened is James Gunn on the Guardians press tour, the rumor was that he was speaking with one of his Guardians members, and everybody was saying oh, is it Batista? Is it this person? Right away, the GUA Discord, I was like, it had to be Cooper, and let alone, is that the expression? I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah, let alone. It was Cooper, just because I just feel like that's the obvious choice, but apparently turned him down. I don't know why. Who knows what the deal is? I just think it's he's a director now. I feel like playing Rocket, sure, is definitely can be taxing, but it's a lot easier work, easier to get in the studio and just do. But the emotional scene, you got to get into it. But I feel it's still relatively more easier than Lex Luthor. Wow, poor voice actors. But yeah. So apparently that's the kind of narrative that he was maybe talking to Cooper. Cooper turned it down. And then probably they landed on Holt, and Holt seems to be the only one. So, what do you thought? What would you have thought of a Bradley Cooper Lex Luthor? Then also, what do you think about some of these rumors Holt the Superman and Lex? Superman, I have learned how to say his name. It's David Cornsweet. So that's the guy who's rumored for Superman. Have you seen David Cornsweet?
No, let me give him a little Google here.
Search David Cornsweet and tell me who he looks like. David Cornsweet, yeah, he's going to be in Twisters, which I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast yet. This is what Travis told you. Twisters is going to fucking bomb, and I don't know why they're making a sequel to Twister. There's no way. That movie's going to fucking eat it. Just like Dungeons & Dragons, just like 65, just like Shazam, just like everything I was right about this year eating it, that's going to fucking eat it. Twister's not making money. Have you seen what David Cornsweet looks like?
Yeah, he looks like Superman.
He does, but my pitch on Travis told you he looks like Superman, but he looks like Henry Cavill. It just looks like Henry Cavill younger.
He should be the new Witcher, not Liam Hemsworth.
Could you imagine even before Liam films the scene, they announce he's gone? But my pitch was look at Christopher Reeve, look at Brandon Routh, and look at Henry Cavill. They all have the Superman look, but they look like different people, right? They look like there's this guy literally just looks like, well, we want Henry, but he's about to be 40. So let's get
David.
He looks
a bit of Cavill as well as the Smallville guy. What's that guy's name?
Tom Welling.
Yeah, Tom Welling.
Yeah, he has more of that curly hair.
They're just taking all these Supermen and combine them together to get their new actor.
Have you ever seen that photo? It doesn't have Pattinson, but have you ever seen that photo of all the live action Batman's faces combined?
No, that sounds terrifying.
I'll find it while you're talking. You think that, but when you see it, you're like, fuck, that actually looks like that could be Bruce Wayne. It's crazy and stuff like that. And then the other ones, obviously you got, apparently David's the front runner. You got Holt as Lex, and then the other people that were rumored for Lois Lane. There's two actors that I don't think you know, but then there's two you do, with Samara Weaving and Emma McKay from Sex Education, aka just the Margot Robbie clones and stuff like that. So what have you thought about some of these casting rumors that are going around? Cooper turn it down, Holt, stuff like that.
I love this theory that they're looking for actors that look similar to other actors. It's like, hey, we can't get Cavill. Let's get David Corn
they
Sweat.
do that.
We can't get Margot. You know, maybe she's a little bit older than the actress that we want to get. So we'll
They
get her
literally
clothes.
do that because, like, remember it was a joke, but when they were doing She-Hulk casting, they said they wanted Alison Brie type, and Alison Brie was like, "Why don't you just get Alison Brie?" And they didn't, but like, they do that all the time. And like, even like to me, it's like if they. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a casting grid out there for Lois Lane and it said Margot Robbie type, you know, and then somehow because we both got Samara Weaving and Emma McKay who have like they all look like they could be related.
Yeah, no, it's true. What was even your other question?
Just all the castings, all the rumors.
All the
You got
casting rumors,
Cooper
yeah.
one that turned it
Right,
down,
right,
Hollis
right, with
Lex,
Cooper.
Dave Cornsweet, the Lanes.
With the Cooper one, I really like that fit. Actually, my mind just pictures. I mean, like, I've seen Bradley Cooper play a very charismatic type individual, sometimes borderline assholey, and I think taking just his charisma from like Hangover, you know, minus the comedy, but also adding in like how he is in Limitless when he's just like at the peak of his game. Like I think it could be really interesting seeing this business side, suave Lex Luthor that is also just very intimidating when he wants to be. Don't have the most experience with Lex Luthor other than just the live action versions I've seen, and then the very odd time in the animated show. But I think that type of archetype it's not the only way to play Lex Luthor, but I think that one could be very, very interesting, and Bradley Cooper has the cojones for it. And then so
But
I guess
he's out.
Nicholas, but he's out, yeah. So fuck me, right?
So now Holt though. Now they've
So
moved and the
Nicholas
rumor is Holt's like the guy, like that's the rumor now, like it's his
Yeah.
to maybe turn down
He-
and stuff.
He's the type of actor that I feel like for the vast majority of things I've seen him in, I've really liked him in. And I feel like maybe it's just because of what I've seen him in. I kind of put him in this box of this. I'm just harsh tonight. This like dweeby type, like archetype, where I don't know. He's always got the glasses on. He's always just like
Oh,
the guy.
don't
in
give
the
us
lab.
Eisenberg's Luthor again. Let's not go down that.
No,
road.
and I don't want to have that. So like I really want to believe that this guy has numerous layers to him, and I want to see him just really pull
He
it
definitely
off. So
does. Think about the menu. Like you and me didn't love that
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
but like
That's
think
right.
about how good he is in there and stuff like that.
he's still kind of
Yeah.
dweeby in it though.
Margot Robbie is 32 years too old. Got to get 31. Smart weaving. Yeah, and that was part of the article. It was so weird. Like I was showing this in Travis till you go back, but there's this girl who I've never watched the show on Amazon. It's that Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Mrs.
You've probably heard
Maisel.
that. Yeah, and it's won a bunch of awards. So she's in the running, which is very awkward. They asked her on the review. They're like, "Oh, we hear you're the front runner for Lois Lane." It's like, well, fuck her if she doesn't get it right, because then you just made her look like an idiot. She
Yeah.
said just like that'd be a great opportunity. And so the rumor was that apparently she did audition, killed it, but then they worried she was too old. She's 32 years old, and I was like, okay, so I'm like, how old is fucking David Cornsweet? I looked up, he's 29. I'm like, are
Yeah.
you fucking kidding me? Like we're in this terrible age now. We're 32, 3-year difference between Superman and Lois Lane. Like, she's kind of old. It's like she's 3 years
Makes no
older than
sense.
So it's
Especially like
fucking
people
weird.
nowadays do not look like how
No.
they would look like 50 years ago. Like a 30-year-old looks significantly younger nowadays
Yes.
than what a 30-year-old would be back in the day. So that's just weird. So yeah, with Nicholas Holt thoughts out of the way, and then getting to Lois Lane. I like all those options really. I haven't seen Samara Weaving enough. I've loved her in everything I've seen. I've not seen Ready or Not yet. Every
Oh,
time I'm on
what?
Disney Plus, I know every time I'm on
Come
Disney Plus, it's just
on.
eyeballing me. I'm really looking forward to watching it. I should just throw it on this week because it just sounds like a fun time, and she's phenomenal and everything else that I've seen. Again, another thing that I haven't seen of hers is The Babysitter. I really want to watch that as well. That's a
jeez.
TV show, right? Or is that a movie?
No, it's a movie. Yeah.
It's got a sequel?
Yeah, you can skip the sequel. She's
Okay.
not even in it that much either, too.
Oh, okay.
But it's like an American Psycho situation. But like,
Someone kills her and takes over.
not exactly, but
On The
yeah, like as I
Babysitter
said,
now.
watched only the first Babysitter. Yeah, exactly. The second one, not really worth. Yeah, I just rewatched Ready or Not last week. It's a fantastic picture.
Yeah.
What the fuck have you seen Samara Weaving in then? Because those are big things, and you haven't seen Babylon either. So what's going on? You haven't seen Snake Eyes. So
I
what
know
have you
I've seen her in
in?
something.
Oh,
Hold
what I've
on.
seen her in? She's fabulous. Pictures of
Well,
her? She's
from what
fabulous.
I've seen, yeah,
Yeah,
her
from what I've
clips
seen
from
Samara Weaving,
Snake
she's
Eyes.
fabulous.
She's amazing.
Yeah. And here, while
Samara.
Kirkland's looking for the video people, I'll describe here. Here's the morph. This is a picture of Wes, Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, and Bale all put together as Bruce Wayne. Look at this face, though, Kirkland.
Holy
so this
shit!
is the morph for Wayne. It kind of looks
It's
like
weird because
it-
I can like see everyone that's in this,
Yeah.
but without like, I don't know, without pinning a particular detail that makes them who they are. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of
But it-
creepy.
It is, but like it looks like it could be a Bruce Wayne. Like you know what? I could see this being Bruce Wayne. There is an updated one that I don't like as much now, but I'm sharing it because it has a Superman one. So let me share that. But this updated one I found has Affleck added because obviously that was not in there at the time. Or was it here? Okay, so I'll share this right now. This one has Affleck, and then it's also all the Superman put together. So, and they did the Wonder one, which is like there's only a few, but here you go. Okay, the audio listeners, you have to just purely look at the video. So now the left, that's with Affleck. I feel like they made it look
Okay.
too much like Affleck. With the left, like he's just so
It's the
prominent.
star of Air.
Yeah, and then the middle, that's Dean Cain, Christopher Reeve, Tom Welling, Brandon Routh, and Henry Cavill. And look, it's just David Cornsweet.
I was gonna say I really see Christopher Reeve in there more than anyone else.
Yeah. I see Ralph's like eyes kind of a little bit and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think it's Henry's jaw too. You can see he has
Oh,
a
yeah.
little divot there and stuff.
Little butt
And
chin
then
growing.
Wonder Woman, I don't know. It just looks like a AI girl. Like it almost doesn't look like any of them really.
Yeah, looks like some chick in my DMs that's trying to get money from me.
Yeah. Hey, you live down the street?
Yeah.
It's like you look at her like
You like
Germany.
see
It's
some
like
juicy
no.
juicy pics.
Yeah. Want to see some pictures of my blueberries?
My Burberries.
My blueberries. So what have you seen Samara
Okay.
Weaving in?
Yeah, this is actually depressing because the only thing I've actually seen her in is Monster Trucks movie. Came out in 2016.
What I've seen her in?
I don't
She's
even.
great.
I don't even
Kirkland's
remember her in
speaking
that
out of his
movie.
ass like a true
I don't-
podcast.
Like actually, I.
But I've
that
seen her
is-
in,
that
she's
is
great.
trippy. Okay, I've seen. No, I haven't seen Bill and Ted. I've seen. What the hell? Oh, Guns Akimbo. That's the only other one that I've actually
Right,
seen her
okay.
in. And then Scream. I've seen the trailer for Babysitter. She looks amazing in it. God,
Okay,
that
so what
is-
about Emma Kay? What about Emma Kay? You think she'd be a good spunky reporter, love interest for Superman?
Emma McKay. Oh yeah, from
Sex
I
Education? You
I
got
think
experience
so.
there?
I think so. I could really believe her to be that like just reporter that goes to just does what she has to just get to the end of the case or whatever. The classic Lois Lane isms.
Want to see my blueberries?
She's good at Burberry
good at doing
investigating, but I don't know. She's got like just attitude to her character. I'm really just pulling from her character
course,
in
yeah.
Sex Education, but
That's mostly what she's in.
she's phenomenal and she can very much hit those emotional bars. I don't think Lois Lane always goes to those limits, but if they want to write her that way, I know that actress can really pull it off. Haven't seen Sigourney. My gosh, Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Samara Weaving.
Rachel Bronhan gets told, "Hey, you're too old at 32," and then she sees like Sigourney Weaver walks in after her, and they're like, "Well, fuck,
My
it's Sigourney
fucking
Weaver."
joke to you. That's that meme. I look like a
It's-
joke to you.
Are we gonna turn on Sigourney? And you just imagine that first photo, like the photo shoot of David Cornsweet, and then Sigourney Weaver's Lois Lane, just at like, just those love photos. I'd love it, because you could make some storyline where Superman doesn't age, so maybe they've been in love for years, but she's aging and he's not.
Yeah.
But Hollywood would never. They would never do that,
That is just blowing my mind, though. How I feel like I'd seen Samara Weaving in so many different things, and here I am. Wow. It's
I hear
depressing.
that. Yeah, I heard because I saw her talk about on The View, and I've seen her in House of Cards. Haven't watched Mrs. Maisel. Never will. I'm sorry, because there's just so much other stuff, and just the content doesn't look like it's for me. But Superbad Mike says, watch any clip of Mrs. Maisel, and you'll see why Rachel I was having troubles with this. How do you say
Brosnahan.
it? Brosnahan. Thank you. It's the best choice. Just even her. In real life, when I saw her on the review, I'm like, fuck, like that's Lois Lane. As I've said before, I didn't know the other one. Emma McKay, yeah, sure, I haven't seen enough either, but like that's fine. I just don't want Samara Weaving because, like I said before, I want her. I think she's leading franchise material. I don't think she needs to be just a side character. And Lois Lane can be a great side character, but to me, Samara Weaving is like a Jean Grey, like Wonder Woman. Not that she would be Wonder Woman, but something like that, where she to me is she's top billing. I don't think she needs to be just the side
Does
character.
she need
or
a better
love interest,
agent?
potentially.
That lady. Like, how have I not
That
seen her
lady.
in anything?
Well,
I know it's
that's
my
your
own fault because
you
yeah.
passed over
But
Ready
still,
or Not.
Still, she's popping in Snake Eyes.
On paper was
Like,
a
come
good
on,
idea
Samara.
potentially. I wouldn't have done it, but like potentially, like it's like okay, like maybe this could pop off. She was just in Babylon. Guy
Better be in a
directed Best
Tarantino
Picture.
movie or something. Tarantino's final movie, get her in there.
That's kind of tough because he only has one more left. So
So?
but
She's a great
and
actress.
he missed the opportunity. Remember because I just watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood this week with the Manson girls. They're all like famous famous actors, whatnot. She's Hugo Weaving's daughter. Missed her chance there, but no,
Is
I don't
it
know what
Hugo
she's in
Weaving's
next.
daughter? I feel like I googled that and that was false.
Samara? Yeah,
Yeah.
she is. Yeah. So
Like actually,
yeah,
it
is actually yes.
Okay.
That it's her
I'll take your
daughter.
word for it.
So she should be She could be Sin, Red Skull's daughter, in the MCU. No joke.
I'm cursed to
But-
guide others to a treasure I can never obtain myself. Oh, I gotta fix that
Yeah.
line because I love dropping it when I can.
Natasha. Okay. Let's when was the last ad breaker? Do we need to? I know I know we
52
ended
minutes.
the cutout.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, okay. Let's do an ad break. You writing down these cutouts too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll be right back. And we're
Getting-
back. Let's
Getting back to the lineage of Samara Weaving. When I Google her, it just says parents Simon Weaving.
Oh, it's her uncle. Thank you. Xbox. Okay.
go.
Sorry.
Come on. now.
Okay, we're in the middle because I
That's
was
why I
wrong
was
with the dad,
pushing.
but Kirkland was for sure like that's not no blood relative there and stuff.
I
like
never
that.
said that. I'm like, is it
You know-
really her daughter or his daughter?
Because you know what Kirkland was doing? He was looking at Hugo Weaving and he was looking at Samara Weaving and went, no, there's no fucking way. There's no way that man produced.
So I had Sigourney Weaving. I'm like, okay, maybe.
Hugo Weaving, Sigourney Weaver had a daughter. Boom, there you go. Yeah, let's talk about some trailers here. So we got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. This one for me is tough because it's just like even without a trailer, there's nothing there's nothing you can do to enhance my hype. Already the Mission Impossible films are great. The fact that we're doing like a 2-part finale. I think now the Guardian I don't want to be I can't say that because spoilers. I think these trailers are trying to very hit heavy home that hey, this is going to be Ethan's last mission. It's all about, they keep saying, what's the price of it all? What's going to be, what's your end goal? Stuff like that, about how he would rather save his friends in the mission. And the friends are like, no, that's not the point. And he's like, I'll save I'll put my life on the line before I put yours on the line. It has a lot to do with death. Now, you could like give him the happy ending and stuff like that, but I just feel like, I know it's different because you have Rebecca Ferguson and the idea is, oh, well, they can be in love because they're both spies to get each other's lifestyle. But you already did that in Mission Impossible 3 and 4. And then they brought back Michelle Monaghan later. Like, he was married, tried that. I just feel like Ethan Hunt is a character that you can't... there's no happy ending for him. His happy ending is saving a mission. And S. Bubs is right. Part 2 is a shot-for-shot remake of No Time to Die. Okay, I didn't read the full S. Bubs tweet there. But no, to me, it's going to be a very similar death of how Bond goes and stuff. I think we might lose a main member of our team, like Ving Rhames, like something like that too. But so to me, they're really hitting home like this is the last go around. All the action look great, all the stunts look great, all the villains look great, the cast look great, visual looks great, like everything just like boom, boom. Like to me, this was just a reminder. Fuck, we're only 2 months away, and I was getting excited. I already am excited, but it was like on a simmering because like okay, I'll get hyped when we get there. But this was an obviously, as we said before, we're gonna do the retro next year because that's when the final comes out. So we'll retro them all. But yeah, this I think was a great trailer. I think this movie's gonna do very well. I'm not saying it's gonna do Top Gun well, but I think people are in a Tom Cruise sort of mood. I like that Tom Cruise is back to rocking some of the short hair and stuff like that, kind of early Mission Impossible 1 days and stuff. So the stunts, yeah, just like I have nothing but good things to say. I like it's a little remix of the original theme, like it's a little more actiony. So yeah, it's I'm expecting good things from this movie, and I think this trailer is showing that sometimes like, Mission Impossible movies usually have some good humor in there, but usually some of the trailers even do. This trailer was kind of humorless, but in a good way, where it's like okay, stakes are bigger than they ever have. Now he's not excommunicated. Now the entire world's after him. So again, they never trust Ethan Hunt in anything.
Excommunicado.
Yeah,
is what
as
he
we
is
talk
now.
about him after not to the world though, not even just to MI6 or whatever, just the world just is after him. As we talk about him after 9, go check it out. Great episode. Just he's always never trusted. But yeah, I thought this was a phenomenal trailer, and I'm very, very excited. I'm getting the juices are flowing. That simmer's turning into a boil, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a rolling boil right now. I completely agree. I think this trailer was really, really good. Personally, I feel like it could have just been a minute less, but that's also just because I'm so ready for the movie itself. I think
It was a little long.
I'd have to compare the other ones because when I was watching this, I'm like, I think this is the best trailer that they've done so far. But also by
ever?
the well, for Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Well, there's
so
only
far.
been 2.
Yeah, so I thought this was the best one. And then like by the
Hugo
end,
Weaving.
because it just kept going, I was like, oh, I think I like what the first one was because it just doesn't go so much into the character stuff. It doesn't go fully into character stuff, but it's just more than what I was wanting. But I mean, it all goes back to what I was saying, how I'm just so ready for this movie. I don't need any more trailers. I don't need to know anything further about it. I am so pumped. The juices are totally flowing. Rolling boil is coming for sure.
What does that even mean, rolling boil? I have no fucking clue what you're talking about, actually.
I think it's when it's like coming to a boil. I only know that from like cooking recipes when it's like
coming
wait
to
till
a boil, okay.
Wait till it's coming to a rolling boil. It's always rolling boil. So I've never Googled what that is, but I'm glad I was able to share it today on a podcast.
Don't, you'll get a dick swinging. Yeah, for
Google
whatever, like we talked
rolling
about.
boil. I just get the dick swing. I dick,
Okay, yeah,
dick
what is
swing my
that?
entire all the fans, all the listeners.
Thanks, friend,
out
for
there.
this link. I do definitely trust it.
It's like a guy wearing a pink shirt, like same shirt as me. It's like so obvious. Me.
Yeah, it's like a live stream. Just got a camera at your crotch. Look at my blueberries.
I feel like I'm like I've always liked Mission Impossibles, but I'm at like my peak love for Mission Impossible right now, especially coming off of Mission Impossible Fallout. I would say that's my favorite Mission Impossible movie for sure. I saw that twice in theaters. I just so pumped for it. I got my T-shirt for it.
Right.
So yeah, it's really near and dear to me. Having Cavill on there was just icing on the cake, but I really, really just love the casting for these Mission Impossible movies. I feel like even in some of the earlier ones, like I just like the side characters that they have throughout with the villains or whoever is going against or helping Ethan Hunt. I really, really like just this universe and world, and I think this 2-part finale is going to be very, very epic on an already super epic franchise.
Yeah. Well, do you think October 27th you're going to get an epic first installment of Five Nights at Freddy's? Because they only released, so there is a like 2.5-minute trailer out there. It's the classic No Way Home where it leaked and it's like off someone's phone and stuff like that. So we didn't watch that one. And I'm not jonesing enough to see that one. I can wait for the full one.
I agree.
But yeah, actually, you want to bring up that trailer right now? No. So you had this trailer. I must have completely never heard that Josh Hutcherson was in this movie. I had no fucking clue. So when he walked out, I was like, oh, okay. And it definitely, because nowadays I think of him a more comedic. Like, well, that and just The Room, I just think of Danny and stuff. Yeah, that's my because we told
hey,
so
JR.
much. Yeah,
Or Chris R.
looking for
not
you,
JR.
Chris R. I was just looking for you. Where my fucking money, Danny? Like, so my mind just jumps to that scene all the time.
Want to play horse?
Want to play horse?
I don't want to play fucking horse.
Oh, my friend's gonna be up in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Danny? 5 fucking minutes? I got you. Anyways, go watch The Room. And Tony Wiseau's a liar. He said go watch Disaster Artist. He said The Room was gonna be playing everywhere for its anniversary in June. I looked, not coming to Kelowna. So Tony Wiseau, liar. Anyway, so this comes out only 45-second one, shows off some of the cast, which I have to check. One of the girls looked like it was Bex from You, and maybe I am wrong
It
on
did.
that one.
It did look
Right?
like her, but I'm pretty sure it's not. I think it's. I'll look it up actually right now
Okay.
because, yeah.
So, funny enough, this is what I said when we talked about this weeks ago, right? We were talking about Saw versus this. This is a little bit different because it is at home and it is theatrical. I personally will probably just watch it at home because I'm already seeing Saw, and like I've played like a minimal amount of
It is her, yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. That's fantastic because I've not seen her in anything else. The only thing I knew she did once is she played like a live action Anna or Elsa in like that fucking. Remember ABC had that show where it's like Disney fairy tales come alive, and it's like Once Upon a Time or something like that. You ever see that?
Never saw it.
Anyway, she played the live action Elsa. So like, and I like her as Bex a lot. I think she's like very likable in that. So that's exciting.
She's Beck,
So
by the way, not Bex. I heard the S on there.
I was gonna get rid of you, but you're editing, so I won't do it. But
Don't do it.
I
Do it,
swear he
Travis.
says Bex
No Beck.
as like a nickname. He never calls her
S
Bex.
Bubs will answer us. I
No,
don't
he's
think
not.
he
He's not
will.
gonna know. S Bubs guy in the chair. I'm not expecting him to know you season 1 trivia.
Oh, he will. He will.
S Bubs, go YouTube a clip right now of Joe and Beck in the scene together. It's not Beck. He doesn't call her Beck. There's no
Beck.
fucking way.
There's no way it's Bex.
Bex is like a cute nickname or something. I don't know.
That's just
Anyways,
weird. Hey, Bex.
Bex. By the way, I'm gonna look this up for sure tomorrow. Bex. Anyways, we're talking about this. There's the at-home feature. Sure, that's why I'll probably watch it because I'm gonna see Saw in the theaters. I'm not the biggest friend and stuff like that. It's just Beck. You know what? Let's I've seen 2. This is good. I've seen 2 episodes of you. Well, Beck is in
call
them.
her Bex, S Bubs.
But again, Superman Mike, are you just going off IMDb or did you look at some clips? Because I swear in the show, at some point she's called Bex.
Bex.
God.
Bexies.
Anyways, Bex plural. Beckeye. My
That's all you're
point
gonna be doing
is,
tomorrow. You're not gonna be working. You're just gonna be watching.
yeah, I'm just
all
gonna
of
watch
you season
and-
1.
No, I'm gonna watch a clip. I'm like, yeah, and I'll just watch the whole fucking thing. Be like, oh man, Love's coming up, and like season 3, I'll get lost. But anyways, I will stay at home because I'm happy. I don't need a night out to see this one. But I said, and we all said, okay, with Saw, and Saw's trailer's not out yet. Even though there's one part in Five Nights at Freddy's that's like someone's in a chair and there's like a bunch of saws coming after them. Yeah, going off memory, Superman Mike. Yeah, I'm going off memory too, and it's pretty good like an elephant. No, I don't really know, but I swear it was Bex. There's like a contraption where it's like a bunch of mini saws coming towards someone's face. It's like, oh man, they're even being sawed to the punch. But I don't actually need to see it. I know what a Saw trailer is going to look like, okay? They're going to show off Tobin Bell, great. I said I need to see what the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer is going to look like, but even in this 45-second teaser, I can tell you that Five Nights at Freddy's is going to win the box office. I feel like even if you're not a fan of the game, it looks fun in like a even Goosebumps sense where I don't think it's going to be rated R. I think the rumors is PG-13, but that kind of like family-friendly horror where it's like not that full up tilt. It's not so much where it's like a PG-13 where it's like, oh, this is a little dark. It looks like you could have a good time. It looks like tons of young people go together as a group. I liked everything from like there's that scare in the ball pit. I love that there's some of the imagery that's like ripped directly from the game because I've seen the screenshot comparisons, stuff like that. I think the antagonists of these, animatronics are great. We saw that in Willy Wonderland, which like I liked enough, but I feel like it didn't hit that peak potential like I wanted. So I think this, and from the posters, I think what this looks like is going to be a good time. Where Saw, I again think is for obviously 2 different audiences, whether you're torture porn or the hardcore fans. I think this is much more with the rating, this teaser. I think that's going to win the weekend. Even with you being able to watch at home on Peacock not for free, but for the subscription, I think people will go to see this. Maybe because it's Halloween, maybe if I'm not busy, maybe I'll go see it. But I just feel like for my life being easier. But yeah, what do you think about this? Obviously just a teaser, but this felt like more like a kind of mood setting one, like showing off like, hey, this is a general idea what the vibe of this film is going to be.
Yeah, I think it's a good trailer. I didn't love. I don't know. I didn't love it, but I'm also not like a super big fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. I feel like I liked it in the original like origin days of just what it was, and then it just blew up into this big thing, which I just didn't. I guess I understand, but I just wasn't a part of it, so I don't know. I don't want to sound like grumpy old man or something, but it's not for me, not my franchise. It's cool that this movie is like finally coming out for just like the hardcore fans, because this is definitely one of those.
That's Kirkland
just-
tonight.
Mr. Negative. I am Mr. Negative tonight. I'm just shit talking people, studios, claiming I'm a big
Bex.
Samara Weaving fan. I'm not. I
Yeah,
don't
she's
even-
great in things I've
Yeah,
seen.
she's great in monster trucks. That one's
Seminal
monster
work.
trucks. That's.
Oh, right.
We're doing the opposite
Yeah.
now with the plural and
Yeah,
singular. But I don't know. I think it is really well made, at least, especially just. I don't think I've played Five Nights at Freddy's, but probably just watched like a reaction video or something on YouTube, and they did a really good job at just the similar shots and having the origin like basically the exact same. Of just like if you're listening to this tape, like you're the new security guard, so like that, all that is very accurate. I'm hoping this surprises me and it actually is like a really fun movie. I feel like because I saw Willy's Wonderland, it's like, okay, I've seen this before with Nick Cage, and in my eyes that's like a better experience, but that's also purely coming from someone that isn't a big fan of the games or anything like that. So
Plus, a lot of GA probably doesn't even know that Nick Cage movie exists.
yeah. 100%. I almost forgot about it, honestly, every once in a while. And then I saw this. I'm like, haven't I seen this movie before? The animated. Oh yeah, right. No, Willy Wonka. So yeah, I am very curious as to what this does numbers wise. You brought up a good point, and something I wasn't really thinking about, even of just how much of a cultural is that the right word?
Yeah.
A cultural phenomenon, I guess. It sounds so extreme. I feel like it's not that extreme for what Five Nights at Freddy's is, but it definitely has a cult. See, I don't even. I'm like choosing my words wrong here. It's not a cult
you're saying
following,
cult.
like it is. Yeah.
Well,
it
Superman
is.
Mike says it feels like it's coming out at least 3 years too late. I think it could have been sooner, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's too late because it also could go in that type of nostalgia sort of feeling, right? Because then you get the opposite of, well, people that played the game at a younger age have now grown up. And honestly, what was it when Emily asked about, because she said, oh, is this like a kid's game? Because I think she talked about like her like older siblings of kids that she would watch at the daycare are talking about this. So it's still like in the zeitgeist right now. So I feel like it's like a perfect, kids love right now. And that's where, I was just bringing up S-Bubs. I feel like there is still an audience there for it. I don't think it's so late. And I think it's like an almost, I won't say perfect, because perfect would have been like, a few years when the game was really there. But at the end of the day, it might just be an iconic franchise that kind of sticks with it. Plus, it's like a fun name. Five Nights at Freddy, easy marketing, those bears and everything and stuff like that. Update on Beck Watch 2023. S. Bubs has shared full name Guinevere Beck, nicknames Beck, Rebecca, Beckish, Beckalicious, Ronaldo, and the everything ship girl, but no Becks. But I swear I'm gonna have to fucking you guys are gonna have to make me watch season 1, and I'm gonna fucking videotape when he says Becks.
It's a good season.
I'm telling you.
You don't have to. You don't
It
have
is.
to do
It's
it.
fantastic. No, but
I feel like I haven't heard all of those nicknames either through that show. So
No,
I don't know how
right?
accurate that is.
I never heard the
anyone call it a
everything
Ronaldo.
yeah, or the everything ship girl. Like I didn't hear that. So
Beckalicious. Maybe
see.
what was her friend's name? The annoying one.
it was
the-
Peach that called her. It literally says
Peach.
Peach called her Beckalicious.
Oh,
So
okay,
it
there you
has
go.
been a while. So I'll probably rewatch for season 4 because thank God it's ending. So happy. Or season 5. Thank God. Good on them. But so this final trailer, what was it? The Creator, right?
The creator.
Or
yeah.
they
you got
almost called it The Collector. I'm like, no, that's a different horror movie. The best way I can compare this to me and my experience here is, so you got Gareth Edwards here, right? Or Gareth Evans. Fuck, look it up. I always screw them up. I think it's Evans. Let's see who wins. Kirkland in the chat. So
Send me chat.
he directed Rogue One, and obviously we know what happened with that film. We know that he directed. Man, the chat is really gonna beat Kirkland. All he had to
What
put is
was-
Rogue One director.
Okay. What the hell? Ivan Passar. Oh, this is a 1985 sci-fi romance called Creator. Okay, I looked at the wrong one.
Oh,
This is why
yeah,
I'm not the
so-
guy in the chair.
No. Oh, there you go. I supposed to beat you. Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards.
So
there you go.
So I was wrong. I always mix up because Gareth Evans is like the Raid guy. Did you ever see those back in the 2000s? The Raid movies. They're like 4 movies where it's like great fighting and stuff like that.
So what's it
One
called?
after the Raid, and then there's the Raid 2.
I don't think so.
Oh,
No,
it's just
not
like some of
ringing
the
any
best fighting movies you ever see. So anyways, Gareth Edwards, right? He directs, I think it was Monster. I can't remember. I saw it a while back ago. Long time ago was his first film. And then he directed Godzilla, which we've retroed. I like Godzilla. I don't love it, but I liked it. There were some things in there that I really enjoyed. Then he directed Rogue One, which we know, again, as always I say, people that preach that they want creative freedom, do not tell me you love Rogue One, because that man, as I've said before, had to sit in a chair and watch someone fuck his film, because whatever the film was going to be, he just sat there during reshoots and someone else shot the rest of the movie for him, because there's rumors that Rogue One was even darker. There's rumors that Vader was like on the beach and stuff like that. Whatever. I'm not even saying it was a better movie because I don't love Rogue One. But he did that. And that was 2013 when that came out, Rogue One, I'm pretty sure. Or no,
No.
2016, sorry.
Yeah.
16, yeah, because Force Awakens is 50. I'm thinking about when they were bought. And now it's been, 7 years, and finally he's back. And it's very interesting because I kept going, what's this guy doing? What's he doing? Especially, I always want to see a director after a film has kind of been messed with, and it's like, okay, what are they going to do? And it's usually the fight or flight, right? Because sometimes someone puts out a movie right after controversy, and it comes out and you go, oh, then I see why Disney did what they did, right? Or you get the reverse where it's like, man, this fucking slaps. I really wish we saw, like, I think the cases you look at the Snyder Cut, right? That's one where it's like, oh, we didn't see that. Then when we saw the Snyder Cut, it's like, man, even some of us that didn't love all his DC stuff were like, man, we would watch more of this. So also we're not getting a Rogue One cut. But this to me compares to when I saw the Don't Worry Darling trailer. Now, I'm hoping it's not going to be like the Don't Worry Darling movie, but I remember, yeah, okay, Olivia Wilde, Florence Pugh, I was excited. But once I saw it trailer, I was like, fuck, I'm in. This is a non-IP movie. This is something that's not on my radar at all. But I was super excited for the big stags. I was very excited for this film.
What the fuck did you just say?
Obviously, Don't Worry Darling, check out me and Dylan's review, didn't go that way and didn't really appear too many places in the Golden Geeks. But with this, same thing. I was interested because, John David Washington, I like him a lot so far what he's doing. I was interested because the guy hasn't directed in 7 years. What's he cooking? And apparently, hopefully, he's cooking like Flamin' Young, non-meat style. Wait, Flamin' Young's a fish, right?
Filet mignon.
That's a fish?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So I eat fish, so there you go. Whatever he's cooking, creme brulee. This looked fucking fantastic. Now I'm gonna let you go, Kirkland, because see if you're on the other side of this. But to me, this is like, I was like, okay, cool. He says film come out. Maybe I'll see it at some point in VOD or something. But now when it's like December 29th, okay, I'm there. This is on the calendar. So, and I'll be right back because my computer's about to die. So I'm not gonna know what you thought.
I will share my thoughts with the world and not Travis Snell. Yeah, this trailer kind of surprised me because I hadn't heard. Here, we'll attend to the chat since Travis is gone. Superbad Mike said had a bit of Children of Men meets Terminator vibes. I've not seen Children of Men, so we will wait for Travis to get back to talk about that. But yeah, no, this trailer surprised me because I'd never heard of this up until watching this trailer just now. And right away, initially, I was very, very, very intrigued of just having John David Washington. It seemed like the ultimate actor to have in this type of role. I loved him in Tenet. I haven't seen whatever it was him and Zendaya did, but I heard it was interesting from, I don't know who it was.
It's a good acting movie.
Okay,
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on the camera, so I should just leave it like that. So it looks like you're podcasting with a ghost.
Just see your cock. You can see that you're pantsless right now.
The camera comes back and
dripping right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Superbad Mike. Filet mignon is meat, not fish. Well, fish is meat. Superbad Mike. I'll
yeah, but it's like different categories. I still eat fish.
Meat versus fish. Meat versus
so.
fish. I feel like fish is the source of meat, but I digress. Okay, so getting back to the creator, I feel like John David Washington is just the perfect protagonist in this, pun intended for his character's name in Tenet. He's just such a great lead in these action adventure movies. So I'm very excited just for his inclusion. But I think they did such a good job at just setting up the world in the early stages of this trailer. I love the concept. I kind of went through a semi roller coaster on this trailer because once it's revealed of like the hook of he finds this like creator or lead of the AI and it is just this little kid, right away I just kind of, it was like I just got hit with cold water when I was already like getting steamy and hot, and it just really like simmered me down. I don't even know why particularly. Maybe I didn't want to see this guy fighting off humanity with this like little kid that's also not really a little kid, is like an AI type thing, but also like it is what makes him a little kid, the fact that he's biologically human, or like that deeper question that we kind of got to later on in the trailer kind of brought me back into that really, really loving it camp. So it was kind of an interesting go along. I can't remember how long the trailer was, but it felt like a really appropriate length. I don't think it went in too deep on what was going on. I think it showed an appropriate amount to get people interested in this. And yeah, just for the world building alone, I was blown away. Superbad Mike brought up he had a bit of Children of Men meets Terminator vibes. I was getting thoughts of, pardon me, like iRobot, that Will Smith movie. So I really like that movie, and just that whole AI like philosophical debate of like really what makes you like conscious, or like why is AI so different than what the human is. It almost gets into like yeah, just what makes a human, and just those concepts are very heady, and I love those ones. I love games that tackle that, whether it's System Shock or what's another one? Soma. That's a phenomenal game.
Detroit Become
that
Human.
really
Did you ever finish that?
Never even booted it up, so there you go. But I'll have to get into that someday, especially if I really love this movie. But yeah, and I will add on, such a sweet poster for this movie. I didn't see it until I googled it for IMDb.
It looks like a Star Wars Visions episode.
I was gonna say it looks like a sci-fi book cover, but like one from like the early '90s, where it's just like it's got that older font on it that just, I don't know, reminds me of some early movies that I'd seen on VHS. So I really like this trailer, and I can't wait for this project. I really hope it delivers well. But yeah, just having John David Washington as the protagonist has me really pumped.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Like, you talk about iRobot, their look, I like that. I like anytime there's a distinct look, because they had two. They had like the AI with just like the light face, so I like that design, and then I like the human AIs, and they had like the almost something had like the Joker slits, but they were kind of like skin like kind of separated and went to over there and everything. So I liked that. I can agree to the extent where when the kid opened, like the door opened up. At first, I thought it was gonna be like a pretty lady, because that's usually it, right? It's always a kid, or it's like and then they fall in love, right? Like that's usually what it is, right? It's always a kid or a hot significant other. But
I thought it was
gonna
be him, honestly. I thought it was gonna be another John David Washington.
I like that twist better. Yeah. It's him as a lady, and then he's like, "What do I do here?" And it's like it's like Loki season 1. Yeah. Well, that's what happened in Loki season 1, right? I love it. Yeah. Right in King's Castle. But anyways, yeah, I say like it not brought it down, but it was just like, oh, okay, like we've done this before, but the world is what was keeping me in, and the scale, like that's one thing between Godzilla and Rogue One. Like you look at the scale that Gareth Edwards always does. I think he does a great job of making things seem like massive, like bigger than worlds. Like that spaceship over when it has like that, when the trailer's starting, they're all in the water, and then that laser came down. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then they go up, it's like this thing in space, and it's over Earth. It's it's
like
just
first 10
looks,
section of the trailer, I feel too.
Yeah,
like it's really,
and the
early.
stuff just looks massive, even though it's in CGI. So great. We were talking about phones earlier. Great depth of field and everything like that. So, and I agree. Yeah, I suppose what you said. I have a feeling it's gonna be good, but it'll be a huge bomb. Absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't think people go out. I'd have to look at. We don't have time now. Maybe in maybe we'll do that for bread and butter. Maybe we'll talk about that, because I haven't thought of a topic. But it's just looking at, like, I feel like, off the top of your head, other than Quiet Place, because I feel like that was the last one. What was the last original IP that was like a big hit? Because I feel like that was the last time where it's like, oh, new story. And I know it's probably happened, but I mean, like, to me, that is the benchmark of a completely original IP that hit. And that's what I was hoping to happen with 65. Didn't. And hopefully this happens for this, but I don't think it will. Let's do a quick look at just what's out in September. But
I can't really pull one, honestly.
Yeah, and that's just the past few years. Obviously, in the past we could have, but in the past few years it's tough. Chat, let me know some ones. But yeah, to me the trailer looked great. It was just a world where, like, okay, I want to see what's going on. I think obviously it's timely, because even in Hollywood, the whole talk of, like, that's part of the reason the writers are striking, right? Because of AI, and they don't want people like AI writing their scripts or touching their scripts and everything. So I think it's very funny that this movie's coming out in this time and everything. And plus, just even in the world, it does feel timely of, like, AI's turning around, and it is that classic again.
Very relevant subject.
Yeah, and for me, where the kid thing, it's not so much just the kid, where the kid thing drops off as far as this trailer, I think the movie will be different, but as far as the trailer, it's like, hey, the AI's taking over the world. Until we kill them, we can't, they have some line about, like, we got to keep hunting them, or they're going to hunt us, something like that, right? And then he finds this kid AI, and I know he's like, oh, it's a kid. In my mind, I'm just like, oh, you just kill it. It's a fucking AI robot. So, like, I don't, or like that kind of crux of, oh, I can't kill it because it's a kid. For me, being AI, I get the idea that AI like birthed it, but I kind of lost like I think that's why
it took me out in that reveal of like having this kid with like the weird like head. Yeah, exactly. In that moment,
it's a robot.
And then later on in the trailer, it shows like some emotional moments of like the kid crying. It's like, okay, they obviously go through stuff, but
yeah,
I
and
just
the pitch is not all AI is bad, probably, right? It's like Planet of the Apes, where it's like some of the apes are trying to help out, which I get it, but it's just like, if this thing's like the source of something, like, I don't know.
And I think that was the hardest thing for me to kind of get behind, is like, it's not just like a certain like political group against another. That's just like, okay, like you could make arguments for both sides, like being in the right here. It's like, this is literally humanity against like robots. Like this is you are like
you don't win, it's over.
You didn't pick your team, John David Washington. You are on Team Human, and now you're just like going against the classic Avatar line. You're gonna betray your own race, and like that's essentially what he's doing here. And
Yeah.
that was like, okay, I'm not loving this, but then I think there was just some really, really good meat and potatoes in between of like the action sequences. And again, just like the world, like I really just want to dive in here and see the different robot types and just the action sequences. And
maybe in the movie it'll play better too, like the dilemma, right? Because there's a
sure.
trailer, so maybe it's like, how do we dumb this down? Okay, he doesn't want to kill the robot kid, sure, but maybe there is more to it and stuff. So
true.
In September, so the first week you got My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 and then The Nun 2. You got Challengers and The Haunting of Venice the next week, which that's that vampire one. So it's funny, or no, that's not the vampire one. Haunting of Venice is that new murder mystery one. The week after that is Expendables 4 and the Book of Clarence. And then the week of The Crater is The Crater and Paw Patrol. So honestly, it has a shot. I'm not saying it has a shot to beat Paw Patrol, but it's like very complete different audiences, right? So it's like, it has a shot. The week after in October is Craven, so it really would just have that week. But there is a chance if it reviews well, gets good word of mouth, maybe it could have like a nice little run. I don't think there's a budget out there, but it does. At least it's set up for potential. It could work. So
yeah, I think what makes this so intriguing is just like the fact that it's not tied to like it is just like a new original adventure, one that actually makes me what's the name of it? What's the Tom Cruise one? It's not
Minority Report.
That's old. I was thinking Oblivion. That's the one where it's
Oblivion. Yeah.
That one kind of had like I don't know, just the marketing material for it. It had me very, very pumped for it, so much so that I was like, I cannot wait to see this in theaters. And I think this movie trailer has that same feel to it, where it's a new sci-fi world journey that you can go and just, I don't know, escape to and just see how this unfolds. It's more of a dystopian sort of take on it, which is really interesting. It's PG-13 as well, so it's like you can get a nice wide range of families or whoever wants to go see this. So yeah.
Well, there you go. I'll take our last ad break and then quickly talk about some Sonys. We'll be right back. And we're back. So yes, this is what we're talking about at the beginning of the cast. Next week's side quest will be on a Wednesday live, Thursday for the drop and stuff like that. It's been rumored for a while. Had on the schedule. It was supposed to be the Thursday, but it moved. PlayStation is doing a showcase. They haven't done a big one like this in a couple of years. That was the last time we got that banger one of Knights of the Republic and Wolverine and Spider-Man and stuff like that. So many insiders are saying expect something like that. Expect a big one. They have announced it's going to be over an hour long, which is very interesting because like some of these usually half an hour, 40 minutes. This is an hour, so they got a lot to show. So what? And the reason we're talking about it here, not on side quest, is because there won't be another side quest in between now and a week and stuff. So Kirkland, I want to ask you, what's the thing you want to see the most? And what do you think is the thing that what do you want to see the most, and what do you think would be a feasible surprise that could happen, whether it's a sequel to a franchise, a developer, everything like that? And I can bring up some Sony stuff after, but what do you I think I know what you want to see the most, but
yeah, I want to see Spider-Man. I can see Spider-Man 2, or I want to see Spider-Man 2 the most, and I think that's the most plausible one, because isn't that like what's the
rumor is fall.
Yeah, so if we don't have any content on it and we have a PlayStation showcase, this is the PlayStation game, so I think that's a given. So that's a pretty easy one to just pitch out of the way there. When I was looking into it, it sounded like they have like the Last of Us multiplayer game, which I have no affiliate. Like I don't care about that at all. Even though
but big title for them.
For sure, and especially the timing of coming off the show, very successful. So I think that all makes sense.
With that one, I'm just interested because like there's so many people that even I'm fine with the gameplay, but there's so many people that even love the game. Like, the Last of Us gameplay. Like I hate doing the Naughty Dog. So like Dylan's one, but I've heard many people bring that up. And that's why I'm very curious with the multiplayer game. It's like, well, if you're not known for your multiplayer, like what is like I'm just so curious. Like, is there like a story? Is it like a GTA Online where it's like, hey, you're in the Last of Us world, but you're all together doing stuff? Obviously, they're not doing heists and fucking racing cars. But I mean, like, is it just like online, or is it actually like a like there's a story. If there's a story, that helps me a lot. For me, it's not a day one. Even though Last of Us is, I have that in my top 10, like the first game. Like it's not a day one. I need to see more, but I'm very intrigued by a full multiplayer Last of Us game. What is this? But I think it definitely is going to be shown next week, and title, date, stuff like that. Naughty Dog hasn't put a game out in a while, so.
Yeah. So there you go. I was just trying to think. I was just trying to think of some other titles that could come out. I feel like I don't know, because of course in the back of my mind I have like that Wolverine title, but I'm like, we're not going to be seeing that till well after Spider-Man 2. So
that's the big debate, right?
Yeah, like
do we get anything?
They did show a little bit of a teaser once upon a time, and this is a big showcase with big stuff coming, but I still think it's early. I don't think we'll get anything Wolverine related. I think it's really going to be Spider-Man focused, and then once that's out the door, then they can really focus on just getting the promo ready for the Wolverine title. I don't even know where they're at in that cycle of that game, or anything like that. So
the
I am
rumor
curious
is
for sure.
next year, but that's just a rumor, right? Who knows? I think
could
the
be.
idea is maybe Spidey this fall and then Wolverine next fall, so they kind of got a year in between.
I'm curious if, since they teased it so long ago, if they like, I don't want to say tie in, but they have some sort of connection that, like, after Spider-Man 2, it leads into that Wolverine direction, like, really clearly. I am kind of curious if they do that, and if that is the case, maybe that you would see Wolverine somewhere in the showcase. But still, I think it's a pretty low chance. For surprise titles that I think could really, really be interesting is like a new Spyro, just like a really modern Spyro game. I know they did one. I think it was on PS4.
And Xbox too. Well, I was gonna say, because I don't think they exclusively own Spyro anymore. I think they license. They can get it licensed, but I don't think they own it anymore.
Never mind then. That kind of changes things. I just always saw that as a PlayStation only thing, just because of my experience playing on PS1 way back in the day. So
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. You think that's gonna be? I'm just looking at like other people's.
No,
stuff.
I do not think that's gonna be it. The other one is like. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was just saying. On Wolverine, I'm very 50-50. My brain says I don't know what said. My brain, I don't know. I was gonna say my brain says no, but my heart says yes. But I'm saying yes because I would have never thought in the time when we got Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, that was so shocking that they gave us both of them, right? I would have thought they would have held off, and they didn't there. And maybe there's two ways. I think no matter what we see something, even if you get a sizzle reel and you got like 5 seconds of like cinematic of seeing something more, you're like, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
But I think something with maybe like a broad date. I think it's just another cinematic. I think it's all about Spider-Man, but I think you're going to see something small Wolverine related, not big. I know there's the argument of, hey, like you got to focus the hype on Spider-Man, but I think it is. They did reveal it so long ago that people are getting a little hungry. So I'm literally 51-49 on that one though. But I'll say yes. I'll say they're going to show us something Wolverine, even if it's small, something.
Yeah. All right. The last one I'll throw out there that could really, really excite me and like get me super jazzed, and I don't think it would be something that leads that like, okay, this is coming out like next year or something. Like it would be a little bit down the line, but still just knowing that it's kind of in the like coming down the line, or if they have anything to show for it, would be like a Ghost of Tsushima 2. I think that could be a really exciting one. Just thinking, was it the PlayStation Showcase when they showed off that game for the first time? I can't remember. I know you and Dylan covered it. I can't remember if it was for Summer Games. Was it Summer Games Fest?
No, it's still when they were doing E3. Actually, it was that I think it was that E3 where they have that banger where they showed off Spider-Man 1, Ghost, the new God of War, just a bunch of stuff because it was very early on for Ghost of Tsushima. But yeah, it was early on. And Superman Mike said the same thing. I think no matter what, you're at least even getting a logo, just like a confirmation that's happening. Because I think that would be happen. So.
I think that'd be really hype, yeah, because that was a very well received game, and PlayStation title, and just take us back to that world. You can have just like the what are they, like the cherry blossom like leaves just flowing in the wind, some music, like just to get that ambiance going, and that would have big cheers for sure.
Jin will return, Yeah,
and he'll be mad.
There's lots of rumors about like Konami doing exclusive stuff with PlayStation, so that could be Silent Hill or Metal Gear, which I'm excited for Settle Gear. I'm excited for Silent Hill, Metal Gear. That's like a without Kojima, you really have to show me. Like you really got to, unless it's actually that's been the rumor too. That's just a remake, which that I could see. That I could be on board with. Okay, you want to take some of these old games and do like pretty much what Capcom's doing Resident Evil. Like, well, we don't want to make a new one, but let's just remake and get. If you could do some of Resident Evil level or Final Fantasy VII level, then I can get on board with that. And I'd love to dip my toes back into those games and be like well refined for this generation. So there's been some rumors I could see that. Go ahead.
What's your percentage? What do you think?
I think
for
that one I'm
getting
like a
Metal Gear?
75.
You think? Yeah,
I'm
75.
for something Konami. I'm not gonna say both of them, but something Konami. More specifically, Silent Hill, because I feel like we keep hearing that Silent Hill rumors for the past couple of years now. Like they're working on one and something. So I think something there. And there had been rumors recently that they'd done some exclusive deal PlayStation. So we'll see. The one that I don't think is gonna be there, but the one I want the most is that KOTOR update. But I don't think, because remember they had like that big mix up and they changed a bunch of. So I don't think we see a single thing other than maybe you see like the same cinematic we got last time in a sizzle reel. But that's the one even more than Spider-Man and Wolverine I want the most. And I'm just so fucking pissed that game's having so many problems. I'm just so pissed that there's like a reality where we might not get it. You know, like I would have rather them not announce it, never known.
So early.
Yeah. Like, so we'll see. But that would be to me the biggest shocker. Naughty Dog, Last of Us game, we talked about that. I don't think anything Uncharted. I know people talk about like something new there. I don't think there. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I agree with you with Ghost. That's the one. I don't think any of the bigger titles. Like I know some people like throwing out like that Star Wars Ubisoft one. I don't think that. I think you'll get that. Like the Ubisoft conference is in June, so I think they're gonna save their stuff. So I'm
too soon for God of War, probably.
I think too soon unless it's like DLC related. The only other one which I don't know is more stuff on Death Stranding, because we got that look at the Game Awards and then that was it. But I think that game's a little far off, but I do remember that Kojima just fucking trailered the shit out of us for Death Stranding 1, so I wouldn't be surprised. It is still a PlayStation exclusive, and you know there's probably some other actors that we have no idea about that Kojima's going to post in like a skin suit being like, hey, like, you know, like they did that with Matt,
Samara
like
Weaving.
the director of Drive. Yeah, Samara Weaving in their next big role. So, yeah, I think those are about it. I know there'll probably be some surprise that we didn't see coming. I saw other people like the two projects, like the Untitled 007 and stuff. I don't think that. Like, I think those games, like Indiana Jones, which could be a Bethesda one day, or like that James Bond one, I feel like those ones that aren't, I feel like this is going to be very heavy. Majority of it is PlayStation exclusive stuff. I think the ones that are other studios, you'd see it like a Game Awards or Summer Games Fest, which is also happening in June. So I feel like this is heavy. I feel like there will be one title that blows us away. Like, I don't think it's like a new Jack and Daxter, like Superman Mike says, but something like that where it's like, oh, we didn't see that coming, you know?
That could be really cool. I really like Jack and Daxter. Pardon me, the one that's near and dear to my heart that I just thought of when you mentioned Jack and Daxter there is the Sly Cooper series. I feel like it doesn't necessarily have like a big reemergence moment. They kind of did that, I think, on PS4 with Thieves in Time. I think that was Sly 4, what that game was. But I love those games. I always called those like the original Assassin's Creed games, which is kind of funny because they're like super cartoony, but just like the theming aspect was really cool. I love those games so much. So if I saw that, I'd get pretty excited. I think it's pretty damn low chance though. Just getting to the Konami stuff, I feel like if I had to put my chips somewhere, my want would be Silent Hill for sure. Just getting a modern Silent Hill game, it would just terrifying. Just what the thought would be, but that is a series that I deserves to be brought back in the limelight for sure. So I would love to see that, but I really think we're gonna be seeing something Metal Gear. I got like 80% plus on that.
So because I pull up the screen rant, the predictions most likely happen. I guess that's another thing too, that it could not even be a Silent Hill game, but just a remake like the other ones, which, you know, I think that works too. Like if it's a ground up remake, then sure.
Like the Resident Evil 2 or 4, whatever those.
Yeah. What about the? Because now I'm just doing some quick fires. Then a PlayStation 5 Pro. There's been rumors that they're working on a Pro. I could see that with it being an hour. I could see that. Again, I don't need a PS5 Pro. Like I'm fine with what I have now, but I could see them dedicating 5 to 10 minutes towards that.
Yeah,
they're not going to talk about VR. I don't think so.
I think they are talking about VR. In the article I was reading, said
They are, but it's gonna be like I don't think
they
they
have
get
like
more than 5
PSVR 2,
minutes.
don't they? Don't they
Yeah,
have
and
like
it's
the
like
whole...
bombing. Yeah. Well, the first one didn't even do good, and they're like, let's do the second
Well,
one.
because it's so damn expensive.
Oh, and then there's that rumor, which this could be it too, if that's why it's longer. Have you heard about that rumor of them doing a new handheld?
Oh God, no.
So, but it's
PS
not
Vita,
like
we're back.
well, it's something where it's like you can play your games from the cloud, but it's not like the Switch. Like there's rumors that everyone thought like, oh, this could be like their Switch, but when you look into it, it's not really like that. It's just like a almost like mirroring sort of thing. So that could be a thing if that's true. I won't be buying that. If it would have been something like the Switch, you could have maybe probably not sold me. I don't really undock my Switch that much, so let's see. Anything else? We talked Castlevania, maybe. I don't know. I haven't talked enough. People talk about Final Fantasy 7 because obviously there's that second part. I don't know how far along that is. Mortal Kombat, if you'll think that's not going to happen because tomorrow there's a reveal at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So we're going to get Ed Boon
MK1
tweeted out. So MK1, that's happening. And then, yeah. Oh, and I guess the other, Final Fantasy 16. We're not the guys to talk about there, but that's a game coming out. They haven't done a trailer for it yet, so I imagine you get like a launch trailer and like stuff. What?
Yeah, they did.
16?
Dylan and I talked about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it's just like another trailer.
They had like
that's
a full gameplay like reveal for it where they like broke down all the systems and everything. Like it was lengthy.
Okay.
Can't remember where that was at, but yeah,
When
looks
I-
great.
when
I know I'm not going to be picking it up.
It's coming out June 22nd. When I read launch trailer, in my mind I took that as like launching of like the first trailer,
Oh,
but no,
okay,
it's so June 22nd makes sense there. So yeah, we'll see. We'll be breaking it down. We're not sure. I'm not sure what time yet. I'll talk to Kirkland, but yeah, we'll watch the showcase. It won't be right after because we're both working and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll be breaking that down. I'm excited to be excited. You know, usually when PlayStation does the big showcases, they usually don't disappoint. Sometimes they're like state of play, stuff like that. They can be hit or miss depending on the game. But the showcases, I feel like they go a lot. There's a reason there's like 2 years in between, 2 to 3. Like they don't just throw it out willy-nilly. I think it could be better if they kind of did one yearly, but at the same time, again, I do think there's going to be one of these showcases where we also get games that are like completely new IP that blow us away. I think that's one of the things that's great about PlayStation. They will have things that we did not know coming, and I'm excited to see what it is.
I wanna be blown away. I was getting, just as we were talking, just like flashbacks to my PS3 era. This is pre-podcast for sure, when I was just really like interested in like what was gonna be revealed at E3. Like as soon as the E3 conference would go on, they would post like the PlayStation like the whole panel or whatever you call it, just showcase on like the actual PlayStation. I don't know if it was the store or something on the videos. And I just sat on my bed and like watched the whole conference. I'm like, oh my God, these games look so sweet. They're probably so dated and terrible now. It's probably like the first time I saw Knack or something. It's like, oh my God, this futuristic game.
The Xbox killer.
Xbox killer.
Hey, they won the generation. It worked.
Yeah. I want to be super, super pumped and just be proud to own a PlayStation more than I already am.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. Cause it's the next few weeks are gonna be big. Cause you got that, and then June 8th, you got the Summer Games Fest. That'll be big. June 11th, you got the Ubisoft one. June 12th, you got Xbox. We'll see how that goes. I feel like they should. That's a Halo at Xbox. It should be bigger, but I just almost know like when it's like we know what we're gonna get here. Forza here. Phil's gonna be saying some controversial stuff. I was just kidding about what I said.
Fucking sucks. I hate this.
I was just kidding. Now that we got this purchase, the EU confirmed it. But yeah, we'll be breaking that all down. So a big thank you to Cycling Beloved. Yeah. That Quantic Dream Star Wars game, I love that, but I don't. That's another one that, of course, these fucking Star Wars games have all these production issues and stuff. So I would love an update on that. I would love that. That's definitely one I'm looking forward to as well. So hopefully that one to me at least has a possibility over the Knights of the Old Republic, where that was like they were starting from ground up again. So. But yeah, there you go. Was not expecting this episode to go that long, but we took some tangents with Mia Goth and Bex, which I swear
we didn't start for like 30 minutes either. We were going off, which was fun. It's nice. Yeah, I like it.
There you go. So again, if you want Dylan Taylor back, do the 50 patrons. If you don't want them back, do 100, and then we'll give them the news and say, hey, no, it's just me and Kirkland now. You guys can go start the. Dylan can be uncrypted with I want to see the timeline where Taylor goes away from crypto because his child, and it's Ruben Dillon hosting, and just to see what those episodes would cook up. A Ruben Dillon podcast, that'd be something.
I'd pay to see that. I'd be a
Yeah.
Patreon for that.
That'd be good
episode at
money.
least.
So yeah. Well, we'll be back for the patrons. We'll be back tomorrow at the originals, and then if not, we won't be back till next week all together for side quest, for some news, good stuff there. Thank you very much for tuning in. I promise when you hear from us next, it'll not be boring.
Bye bye.